obviously one of my ex-mods.
Yeah.
And this is the perfect example of everybody has ganged up on me and gone over to John and Pockers. Everybody has jumped on this bandwagon, and everybody has taken what John and Pockers have said as gospel.
Yeah.
And it's not. And the thing is, as Luke was saying earlier on, I don't know who was watching Luke, but I'm sure people who are in here now were. I know some people were. I know that other people say it's gone on long enough. I just want them to leave me alone. And Peter's right. If John and Pockers were doing Lunar Tuesday once a month, and then they were doing CLA one night, they were doing EQ another night, they were doing Luke another night, they were doing blah, 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 blah. Do you see what I mean?
No, I agree, and I think,
they're constantly on at me.
Last night, obviously, I watched your live, and I was watching the Cam 2 that Pockers and John were doing on my phone, and I did actually comment in there, and I did say, you know, what you guys doing is cruel. And they called me out and they said, Harry, you're crazy, or whatever. But like I said to Peter earlier, whatever happened. You know, there was a falling out, mistakes were made. But would I then go on and, you know, have this, it seems like an obsession and complete hatred and just go. No, I wouldn't, because as a grown man, that is not a normal thing to do. It's gone past the point of, I've had a disagreement, you know, falling out with someone. I've said what I needed to say, which everyone's entitled to do. But then there's a point where you should move on. And there doesn't seem to be a point. And it has gotten to the point where, you know, it makes me feel so uncomfortable. And I'm actually really good friends with another one of your ex-mods who was, you know, accused of things they didn't do, whatever. And, you know, we speak about it all the time, and, you know, we just find it so uncomfortable. And it's, you know, I'm going to
say this to you, Harry. I didn't like how everything happened. And no, I say this to, I don't know what her name was earlier. The other lady who was in the chat, Peter, I don't know what her name was.
Good Witch, I think her name was.
Okay. So, I don't know who she is, but I can 100% say that, number one, I don't mock any disability. I genuinely have a stutter. What you didn't realise last night is I was crying so much that you couldn't actually work the stutter out between my crying. And I've not stopped crying and being upset for the last 2 days. Peter will confirm that.
No, and, you know, you know, you could see that on the live yesterday, and I think, you know, anyone with a decent amount of humanity in them would just look at that and just think, you know, she's being pushed to the point where, you know, some people might not come back from, and, you know, it's really dangerous. And there's certain people who are holding lives, who, I don't want to say names, who have openly spoke about their own mental health struggles on this app. They've actually shared videos and have uploaded videos talking about their own mental health struggles in the past. But they're the same people that are just holding these awful lives and just attack. It's just, I just don't get the mentality. It's not normal. It's really not normal.
It's not, Harry, and thank you for saying it.
You know, it's
if you want me to, I will unblock you.
And it's, you know, everyone's, you know, calling you out and all, you know, oh, she hasn't got this, she hasn't got that. But, you know, as a human being who has actually never met Annette, you know, you can't sit there and say, you know, without factual evidence that something is not true. As a human being, if someone turns around and says to me, oh, this is the situation, this is what I've got, as a human being and the other person as a human being, you just have to take that, you know, and just believe that person, because that's what we all do. We all strive to tell the truth, and you know, I'm an honest person, so if anyone tells me anything, you know, I will believe that, because I think that's the human thing in everyone. So for people not to know the facts, but then say that, you know, your illnesses are not real, it just, logically, I just can't compute that in my head, because how can you say something with such, you know, such distinction when you do not know the truth?
So Harry, I'm actually going to tell you something that Pitter knows.
Yeah.
And I've not said on TikTok, and Pitter might try and stop me, but Pitter, don't stop me, because I actually need to say this. Okay, I need to say this. I am waiting for an appointment on the NHS. Anti-TikToker, I've never given you stuff to do awarenesses about. And you know what, anti-TikToker, half of what you've come out with is a pack of bloody lies. So why don't you just go away and leave me alone? It's as simple as that, anti-TikToker. You were never my moderator. Ever. Pitter and I can prove you were never my moderator. And by the way, I know 100%. I know 100% that the goodie bag John's got, he made himself. And I can prove it. Because I photographed every single goodie bag I sent out. And half of the stuff in that goodie bag that John sent out, I've never had. So there, I'm going to stop with that. And I'm going to say I've got proof a lot of stuff is lies. So just do me a favour and do one. Bye. Right, going back to what I was trying to address Harry with. Harry, you still there?
Yeah, sorry.
I'm sorry about that, but...
Yeah, it's fine.
I needed to get that out as he was there. Oh, Mrs. Bland, go away.
So honestly, Annette, just, you know, the comments, they're just there. They're not going to go away. So you just have to...
I'm just sick of it.
Put your blinkers on and just ignore them.
I'm trying to. Harry, Pitter knows this already, and... Amanda, don't. Amanda, don't. Don't.
No, Amanda's already yelling at me because I won't let her mod.
I don't want her to.
No, this is somehow we went from a political discussion with Slaylicious to we've derailed to now we're here. So in unfairness, I'm letting this be a safe space for everyone to have.
And that's fine.
Their opinions.
I've got no problem with that. But I am going to say this to the name's granny. The name's granny, you have done so much about me, and I don't even know who you are. But you're mocking me even with your profile photo. So you've obviously seen photos of me from cruises. So you're obviously one of John's friends. And you've been around for so long. I just want you to realise in the name's granny, you're part of the problem. Right, I'm trying to carry on with what I'm trying to say to Harry and everybody. And I'm trying to calm down and say this. Harry, you know, you were talking about Asperger's, ADHD, or...
Yeah.
Are you aware? I don't know, I'm asking. This is a genuine question, okay?
Yeah.
Are you aware that there's a lot of women, there's a lot of people in their 40s and 50s, but especially
undiagnosed
women being currently diagnosed with ADHD and autism?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
I'm probably one of them.
No, and Annette, I don't know if you remember when we were a mod, you know, when we were initially messaging over TikTok.
Yeah.
Before I sent you the box of goodies and things. If I remember correctly, we had a conversation about that.
We might
because
have done, I can't remember.
I naturally assumed you know, you were.
That's what Pitta said to me. She
You know.
assumed as well.
Yeah.
And C. Salicious has just said exactly the same thing. So
And like I said to Peter earlier, as someone who, you know, is on the spectrum, you know, I say things sometimes that upset people and offend people without even thinking. And, you know, and I mean, every single human being does that. And anyone who denies that is just lying to themselves, because that's not realistic at all.
Oh, good.
But
Buzz off.
I just don't get how, you know, people just can't move on from things, and to, you know, bully someone for 2 years straight or however long it is, it's uncomfortable. I just think, as a human being, do you not have a life, you know?
Harry, may I address what people are saying on the screen?
Sure, yeah.
You want to carry on? Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, sorry, I haven't. Yeah, I've finished anyway, so.
Okay. So, you know that they do an initial questionnaire.
Yeah.
When you go to get diagnosis, and you see somebody and they do an initial questionnaire.
Yeah.
To even go forward for a full diagnosis, you have to score so many points.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
I scored 10 out of 10 on the ADHD and 10 out of 10 on the autism.
Yeah.
I don't definitely have it. I'm not saying I definitely have it. I'm waiting for a diagnosis. I'm waiting for the appointments.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, I'm not back. To everybody who says, oh, to everybody who's saying, just, yeah, okay, Peter, I'm listening to you. April,
Yeah.
I'm not saying it gives me a pass. I'm saying to
Annette, see, this is, please, and this is like part, you're addressing all the negativity, and you really don't owe these people anything. As far as they're concerned, you're like, please, I mean this respectfully. As far as they're concerned, you're just a nobody on the screen that they can, you know, use and abuse. So just, you know, and those people to you are equally that as well. They're nobodies. You don't need to address them. You don't owe them anything. You know, you just need to block it out. And I know it's easier said than done, but, you know, a lot of the anxiety and a lot of the stress, I imagine, is because, you know, you're seeing things and you feel like you have to respond to every single thing.
I do. I feel like I have to respond.
But you don't.
I don't respond. People attack me even more, and that's what I hate. By the way, I've got a thunderstorm just starting, so if I break up, I apologize.
Think of you really is not your business. Let people say what they want to say, and if people think things in regards to you, let them think it. You know who you are deep down. You know that when you say things, you know what place it comes from. Okay, you know, if you slip up and say something silly, you know that's coming from a good place. It might not translate across as that, but as long as you can sit there honestly each day and say, I'm a good person, my intention's never to go out and hurt anyone, then that really is good enough. And if people don't like that, then that's their problem. That is as simple that's as plain as I can put it. You know, there are people that do not like me. I work with people who do not like me just because I'm me. And is that my problem? Absolutely not. Does it keep me up at night? Absolutely not, because I get up every day and I know that everything I do and say comes from a good place. And if that doesn't translate, then, you know, I'm sorry, but that's a them problem. It's like, you can't be liked by every single person.
And I agree with that.
Why do we have to be on anybody's side? We're human beings. There shouldn't be sides. Why are we picking sides?
You know,
Gary's in the middle. I'm in the middle. And to people that said shut the comments off, we've derailed from a political discussion to this, and I'm not going to shut the comments off, because then they're once Annette's out of the box, I'm going to let more people in. You know, she wanted
Live
to
and
air
let
her
live,
side,
you know.
which is fair.
Just live and let live. You know, if you go on a bus, there's probably about 10 people on that bus who hold views that you would absolutely not agree with at all. But do you stand there and do you argue with each individual on the bus? No, because that's not how society works. You just have to lump it and get on with it, because that's life.
I am just going to say something while there's so many people in here. I will confirm that Delusive Angie before last night never said anything about me. I will confirm that, because I've never talked to Delusive Angie. But last night she sat there with Pockers and Sophie Bailey, Zac and other people and mocked the hell out of me. So yes, she now has. She hadn't before last night, but last night she did. So you know what?
And again, Annette, in regards to those people that mock you or whatever, you know, if you look at each individual person, there are a lot of things you could say about those people.
Oh, I'm trying to ignore them, Harry. I really am.
No, but I mean, the people that are throwing stuff at you, these creators, if you look at them individually, I bet you could list, 10 things that each one of those people has done that is horrible, nasty, just horrible things. But do you go around targeting each person because they've said things in their past that you wouldn't agree with? No, you just get on with it,
I'm just going to laugh at something. I love that username, by the way, Pearls Pop Noodle. I love that username. Hello. Sorry, Harry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, no, I was just saying those people that, creators that are throwing, saying horrible things, not nice things or whatever, those people aren't coming from a nice place. They've done things and said horrible things themselves on the internet. So you need to stop taking these people as credible people. They are just people that sit online and say, horrible, awful things. And then the next, it's for them, it's their life, and it's their bread and butter. And it's just, you just have to accept that there are people like that. And you just have to move on. You're never going to stop these people. You can't police what they say because, they're free to have their opinions. But you need to be able to just sit there at night and in your heart of heart and go, well, I know I didn't go online this evening to personally cause hurt and harm to anyone. As long as you can finish your life and say you didn't do that and that was never your intention, then, to me, that's a pretty good person. I don't think a lot of people could come off their live and say the same thing. So always remember that, it's about intent. As long as you didn't intend to do harm or say anything to hurt people, then, you've done your job. If people get offended along the way, then, we say sorry and move on. But there are a lot of people on this app who come on this app with the intent to hurt people. And that's where there's a difference. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
And that's the way I look at. That's how I view life. I leave the house every day. My intention is never to hurt anyone. So when I come home at night, I can say I'm a good person. But there are a lot of people on this app that that leave the house every day, come on this app with the intent to hurt people, and that's the difference.
I agree with you.
And there are always going to be people like that, and that's just the way it is. But as long as you can say you're not that person, that should be good enough for you. It really should.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Harry.
Yeah.
Can you do me a favour? Can you remind me later to unblock Harry?
And that's a point I want to make as well. Obviously, I said earlier, you blocked me last year, whatever. I've never... as far as I'm concerned, we had a falling out, whatever. I was bitter for a week, and then I moved on because I'm a grown adult.
Behave.
I'm a grown adult. So anyone who's doing the opposite of that, it's not normal. So
Harry,
I don't want to keep saying the same thing over and over again, but I think you get my gist, you know, so.
Peter, does Clapham want to come and talk to me?
Well, speaking of Clapham, when I said I'm really good friends with one of your ex-mods...
Well, I guessed it might be Clapham, that's why I'm saying you want to come in and talk as well.
Me and Clapham are very, very close off the app. And we talk, you know, whenever we talk all the time about how much we dislike all this hate that we get. And we're two people that would cut off you as if we were like bad mods when we weren't. But,
like I said, Harry.
No, Annette, sorry, I'm not bringing that. I'm not like saying anything bad. I'm just saying that's how it ended, and we haven't like become these horrible people or anything like that, because that's not normal. Okay, we still sit off the app, we talk, and if you know if you say something silly, we're like, oh god, I can't believe she said that. But we also identified the good parts of you and things, you know. So,
and I've noticed you haven't been in there. Unlike other people, you haven't been in there.
I mean, don't get me wrong, initially when I was unmodded and things, you know, I was peed off, but, you know, that time has gone, and it's just, I just don't get people who are like 2 years on still going at it. It's just like, Lord Jesus. No, I wasn't Names Granny. I was not. Me and Clapham were never mods. Me and Clapham were never mods at the same time.
So, the Name's Granny, you've brought it up. Would you like me to do a video posting the whole of that chat?
Because me and Clapham were never mods at the same time either, so that's not true at all.
And also,
I was a mod when Pockers was a mod.
Screenshots. You know the screenshot John regularly shows, or has shown in the past. By the way, I haven't watched anything that they did last night. The only reason I've seen it is because people like Luke and Alex were showing it in their lives earlier on. Okay?
Annette, can I just while it's on my mind, someone just said about your boxes last night.
Go for it, Harry.
I just wanted to say as well, I feel like you attract a certain audience of people who like to trauma dump. And I feel like you cop a lot of negativity for that as well. I think people come in your boxes, and you know everyone has horrible, you know, shit going on, but they trauma dump.
What?
And for some,
can you explain what you mean by that, Harry?
The people go in your boxes and they're talking, you know, they talk about all their ailments and all their illnesses and things like that.
Thanks, Harry, for clarifying what you meant.
And because you sit there and reply to these people, like say a lady says, oh, you know, I've got chronic arthritis, and then you reply and say, oh, I know how it feels, I also have arthritis. People don't see that person initiating that conversation. They just see you responding and take that as you listing off every ailment you've ever had.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
I'm sympathising. That's how I sympathise.
Yeah.
I know how somebody feels.
And I think that's part of the issue. People who don't like you just want to see, just create this narrative that actually, when you look at it...
It is an autistic trait, yes.
And when you look...
Is it an autistic trait?
It's because you're sympathizing. So people are able to come into your, just like everybody's dumping in mine. It's a safe place for people to come in and trauma dump, and that somebody else knows, but somebody who doesn't like you is going to see that as you're not sympathizing with them. You're trying to take that over. It's a competition.
I'm learning about ADHD and autism constantly at the moment. Is it empathizing, not sympathizing? I don't know.
Yeah, empathizing.
I don't know. Sorry if I used the wrong word. I apologize. Pitta has been helping me a lot since she first thought I had ADHD and knew I had ADHD. Pitta's been helping me a lot to understand. By the way, there's over 700 people in here, nearly 800. It's dropped a little bit. Can you all do me a favor and can you drop Pitta some love? Because she is absolutely amazing and has stood by me for so long. Please, would everybody in here stop? I appreciate you've gifted me and I appreciate that, but would you stop and would you please give Pitta the love? Please. Thank you. Carrying on. I can't remember what I was saying or what everybody else was saying. We were talking about empathy versus sympathy. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
Can I ask another question about ADHD and autism? You know how people constantly say I interrupt people? Somebody told me that's an autistic or ADHD trait, and I can't remember which. Is that correct? Harry?
I mean, it can be. I mean, everyone's really different.
Is that so?
I mean, if I'm having a conversation with someone and they say something that I know is factually incorrect, I will stop the conversation and, just let them know. So I guess so, yeah. I mean, it's just like you really can't compare two people with the same condition. Everyone's traits are so different.
But it does tend to show up in ADHD.
Yeah, but I mean, it definitely is.
Not
is a trait, definitely.
Yeah,
but it's not something everyone would experience. And just because some people don't experience that doesn't mean it's not a valid thing.
Okay, can I ask another question?
Sure.
Because again, I want to point out to people I haven't been fully diagnosed. Okay, I am literally waiting for my appointment from the Right to Choose. So I've chosen an online clinic, a proper NHS clinic. This isn't an online questionnaire you fill in and pay for. This is a proper NHS thing from my doctors, and they do online, which is apparently 3 or 4 months rather than waiting for a face-to-face.
Sorry to interrupt again. People say you're using it as an excuse. This is what I mean about people taking things out of context. This conversation with Annette has been going on for 10 minutes now, and everything we've said has led up to this point. So she's not saying it's an excuse, because in the broader context, we're just talking about, autism in general. She never said it was an excuse. She's just trying to identify possible traits within herself. That's not an excuse. If I interrupt someone and I offend them, I don't use that as an excuse, because it's still rude. Do you understand? So she's not saying it's an excuse. She didn't say, "Oh, I interrupt everyone," because she's not using it as an excuse.
I'm not.
She's just trying to identify things.
Zac DaBrat constantly says, "Oh, it's my ADHD." I'm not Zac DaBrat.
Exactly. It's
I'm
just
trying to understand myself. This is one of the mental health things I'm going through at the moment, because I literally don't understand myself. And I've been struggling with this now for months. And this is the first time I've actually mentioned it on TikTok, because, I came to a point where I said, I need to mention it.
No, and that's fine. And I will just say, Annette, it's your own journey, it's your own health, and just keep it to yourself. You don't need to be telling everyone online, because, they'll pick faults with everything, and it's just not needed. It's a journey you need to go on yourself, and you'll find the answers you need through professionals, not by, people who self-certify on a TikTok live that they know, just because they've got so-and-so in their family, they know the facts, because that's not the case.
Yes, I spoke to Zac about it a few months ago. Yes, I asked Zac a couple of questions about ADHD, but I didn't tell him then that I was being diagnosed. I just asked him a couple of questions.
Yeah.
2-minute warning, and then you're getting kicked out so other people can come in.
Well, I want to speak to Clapham if he wants to come in.
Is he even still in here?
Mods in the chat.
I don't think Clapham's in here, is he?
He was.
Well, there you are. You want to come up or no? Nobody's self-diagnosed. Jesus Christ, here we go. She said she's being diagnosed. Nobody's self-diagnosing. Oh,
I'm going to say this. I am taking a break. Because everybody's
encouraging harmful behaviour.
Because everybody is talking about me today. And
How is it harmful to self-diagnose yourself with ADHD? She hasn't got a heart problem.
And I'm not being funny. If you had a lump
Other
that was
people
unregular,
diagnosed me. Pitta diagnosed me. Other people in
no,
this
but
chat have diagnosed me.
again,
Yeah,
people are just being irrational because if you found a big lump on your leg and it was unusual and you didn't recognise it and you thought this is unusual, the first thing you would do is think, oh, that's a bit odd. I need to go to a doctor's.
Yep.
And that's exactly what Annette has done. She's
yeah,
thought,
she's
oh,
already gone. She's
this
just
is
looking
something I
for.
don't understand about myself. It's irregular. It doesn't feel normal. So she's gone to a doctor's, like any person would do for anything, any condition at all.
And
So
then she
again, just
came.
because people don't like Annette, they're not being rational, and it's just so silly.
She went to the doctor. She addressed it, and then she came to me and said, "Hey, what do you think?" And me, as someone who has ADHD, I was diagnosed when I was a kid, so it's not like, I self-diagnosed. I've been diagnosed. I said, "Yeah, I see it." And my son has autism, so when she mentioned anything about that, I said, "Yeah, I see it." I didn't self-diagnose her. She didn't self-diagnose her. She went to the doctor first and asked.
Pitta, I'm going to say this. I'm not talking about the obvious trolls, okay? But if there are people who you think can come in the box who've got a genuine question for me, this is their chance. Let them come in.
Now, it's your turn to go down.
Well, I'm giving people a chance to ask me questions. I'm giving them a chance. So let them.
Hey, this is my house, my rules, lady. Woman. All right, 3, 2, 1, blast off.
You're saying you're not who I think you are, then fair enough, but you've got exactly the same name.
Yeah, Buffy. Was we after Buffy again?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I looked at the profile. I'm about 80% positive. Oh, hello, Chloe. No modding, please. All right, 3, 2, 1. Love you. Box rotate.
Let people ask me questions, Pitta.
Jesus Christ, you can sit in the chat.
Let people ask me questions.
Here, we'll let Buffy up.
Hello, Tessa. Thank you for letting me up. Hello, Annette.
Hey, time out. How do I change the boxes so that y'all aren't on the side?
If you click the box button, the button you bring people in on, the guest button.
Yeah.
Click that top right. Can you see the star?
Yeah.
Click that, and there should be a arrangement thing.
Haha.
Right, Buffy.
Okay, sorry, Buffy. Carry on.
Buffy, if you're genuinely not the person I thought you were, then I take it back.
Well, you said you had voice notes, so do I sound like that person?
I can't tell you because I haven't listened to the voice notes recently. Because they're voice notes on my other phone, and I haven't actually spoken to that person or listened to those voice notes for well over a year and a half. So
I can promise you I haven't been trolling you. I am blocked from your live.
Yeah, I know you are, because you're regularly in other people's lives talking about me. In the chat, I mean.
What's the difference of having an opinion? You're in other boxes having an opinion.
I have an opinion, and I don't bully.
I don't bully. I just have an opinion.
You're saying things that are downright lies when you're saying them as fact.
I can give you a fact. My husband passed 9 years ago from the C word, and I would give anything to have him back. And I have to live with chronic pain, and I would have swapped with him in a heartbeat.
Okay.
So your comment was hurtful and broke me and affected my mental health.
Okay.
So I can only imagine what it did to other people.
Can I answer that, Buffy?
Yeah.
Right. First of all, I misworded stuff. I've said this 100 times. I've apologized for my miswording stuff multiple times. Yeah.
You also said it was fact.
I've misworded it. I just said I misworded stuff. Okay?
Okay.
I misworded stuff. People keep saying that word. Yeah, I said it. I misworded. But you, not you, sorry. When I say you, I mean people in the chat have accused me of saying stuff when actually it was an article. And I never said I 100% agreed with the article. I misworded stuff. So what I'm saying is this. Again, I can't apologize a million times to every single person. I've apologized. I can't apologize 100 times.
So, and I'm going to do this publicly, and you know I don't normally do this. The common theme that we've noticed is that when you apologize, it comes with a but attached to it. And I've said this to you before, so this isn't news. That's the biggest concern that most people have, is that when you do apologize, it comes attached with a but. It's not just, hey, I'm sorry, end of story. You know, and that's part of, because I know who you are. You have a chronic need to justify yourself.
Yes, I do, because I feel like
And I understand that, but people are seeing it as you're apologizing and then making excuses for it.
No,
They
that's
just
not
want.
how I'm doing it. I'm genuinely trying to apologize.
And I get that, but people don't get that. So what they're saying is that once you put the but in there, you've automatically negated your apology.
Yeah.
That's what most, I would say that's probably about 75% of people's grievances about you, is that once you negate your apology with a but, that's where all this is coming from. And I understand that as a person, that's just who you are. I get it.
I word things. I can't help who I am.
Annette.
Let me apologize first of all for how I word things. First of all, let me apologize for how I word things. Yeah, I regularly word things inappropriately and incorrectly. I'm sorry for that. Buffy, I'm sorry if I offended you. I'm sorry if I offended anybody when I talked about the article. I'm sorry. I am genuinely sorry. I have family who've left us because of the sea. I have family members going through it. I know it's serious. So I want to say sorry. I can't say any more.
Hi, Annette, I know that you don't like me, even though I've been probably one of the fairer people.
Actually, Quirky Cat, I genuinely can't work out who you are, because you know what? I know your name. I know I've talked to you before, but I'm going to be 100% honest.
You've never spoken to me. You blocked me the first time I ever came in your life for asking advice.
You've been in my box chatting, or maybe it's somebody with a similar name. I can't help it. I'm sorry.
Now, I have... Yeah, of course you can, babe.
Okay, so I'm sorry. Time out. But this... I'm going to say it again. I've said it repeatedly. This is my life. So, you know, it's my house, my rules. Now, when people, and it's nothing that you weren't rude, Quirky. Don't take this the wrong way. But Annette's house is Annette's rules. So if you come in the box and she doesn't like the way something is said, or you know, we have to follow her rules. Just like if you came into my house and started bad mouthing me in my doorway, we're going to have a problem. Yeah.
I just want to say that I've never actually spoken to Annette. I'm just saying the first time.
And that's fine. Yeah. But, you know, people are saying, well, I came in and you blocked me immediately. You know, it's her house, her rules. You know, and this I've opened up as a safe place for everybody.
And I really appreciate you for not turning off the comments. But what I wanted to say in regards to this...
something out on that, Quirky Cat, as well.
It's her turn.
Before we move on. I don't actually do all the blocking and muting in my life.
That's fair enough. What I want to say more is about this whole, the Emmy and the Big C apology.
I just apologised yet again.
I know, and this is what I want to say to everybody. I get it was worded wrong. it was worded badly, is your point. I think everybody needs to now accept either they don't believe your apology, they can't accept it, and as much as that hurts people, they need to let this drop, because it doesn't matter how many times you apologise, your apology is either in their eyes fake or not good enough, or you can't, it just needs to drop now, people. And I have to admit, Annette, I don't think you do word it properly. I don't think you're capable of wording it properly. I think you need help with that. You have irritated me quite a bit with some of the things you do. I do think people go overboard at it. I think this whole situation with that I'm leaving and you're still here is a little bit ridiculous. But I think people going on at you for something, an apology that you gave ages ago and keep dragging it up, it's not going to do them any good in healing. We either need to accept that apology or we need to let it go, because it's not going to change what it is.
Quirky Cat, can I answer something that you just said? Oh, sorry, it's not something you just said. Sorry.
Breathe, Annette. You've got
something. It is something you just said. Sorry.
Take a breath. It's okay.
I've always had a problem with putting words together. People who know me, I'm talking who know me in the real world, and Pizza will know this because she does know me in the real world now. I know people don't hear it in my live very often, but it does happen sometimes. Do people hear me saying, does that make sense? Do you know what I mean? Do people hear me saying that? I'm asking everybody here. Do people hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Confirm that I say that.
You do.
But the reason I say things like that is because I don't know if I'm wording it right. And I've done that for years and years and years.
I totally get that, Annette. And when we cover you, when we do the FYP, this is things that I've stood up for you for.
I've never actually watched your FYP.
No, that's totally fine. I'm very small. But I've stood up for you for that. But one thing I can say, Annette, is you, in my personal opinion, play into this completely. Because if you couldn't take the heat of the kitchen with what certain people do, and they do absolutely take the mick out of you to a level that I find is too much. But if you couldn't take the heat in the kitchen, you would not be jumping in some of these big creators' boxes and crying on here for 2 days. You absolutely play into this. And that is what people's problems are. If you can't take the heat, leave the app, take that mental break.
Right.
But going in,
I am taking a break. I am taking a break. But let me answer this. Let me answer.
Okay, if I say something once you've finished.
If I may. Let me answer you with a question, if I may, Quirky Cat. If people were constantly on at you, I don't know if they are, okay? So I don't know you at all. So I'm asking. I'm trying to get my words right.
Got this.
You can do
I feel like I have to explain myself.
Take a deep breath.
I feel
Okay,
like I have to, Harry, let me, if you don't mind, let me actually say this. I feel like I always have to explain what I'm feeling and thinking because of how much people jump at me for things. And sorry, I'm trying to ignore the comments and I'm struggling.
Let's ignore the comments, Annette.
I'm struggling to get my words straight. I'm sorry.
Okay.
My brain is going all over the place.
If your brain is look, I'm going to be honest with you. I have FND, I have ME, I have focal epilepsy. If my brain is too much and I couldn't cope with all this, you know what I'd do, Annette? I'd come off the app. If I start having brain blips, I'd tick on live. I start to have speech problems. I stutter, and I've stood up for when your stutter is clearly fake. I've stood up for you when your stutter is real. If it starts to get too much like this,
I appreciate you just said that. I appreciate you've just said that. I have my stutter is never faked.
It has been GCS agree. We'll have to agree to disagree there. But what I'm telling you right now,
I'm telling you, I've never faked it, Quirky Cat. I wouldn't dream of faking it.
If this is too much for you right now, and you are overwhelmed, and your brain is not in a good place, as a person that is very empathetic to the point that I'm getting not very nice comments from certain people because I've been empathetic to another creator on here. If this is too much for you, what you need to is not to be on here for all this.
After today, Crazy Cat, I am taking a break. The only reason, this is what I was trying to say a minute ago, and I'm getting my words straight. The only reason I'm here at the moment and not started my break is because after last night, I feel there are questions being asked I feel I've got to answer.
This is definitely something that you need to get help with then, because that is not going to do your health conditions or anybody, even a healthy person, any good. Because you do, from somebody who has one of the same conditions as you, I have no idea how you can sit online as long as you do, listening to the barrage of hate that you are getting. It makes absolutely no sense to me.
I try my hardest to ignore the hate, and I don't watch it. I really don't. But when it's in my chat, when it's in my comments, I have no choice but to see it.
You can. You've got the choice. You've got the choice to come off the app. You've got the choice to not feed into it by going into the big
my social life is the app.
But you don't have to go into Miss Red's box and the big creators box. The more you go into the big creators box,
I do go into them occasionally, but I'm not in Miss Red's box very often. I was this morning. I have been a couple of times in the last couple of weeks. I'm not in there all the time.
I saw you. I stopped covering you for a while because you shouted out at me in Mel Moon's box when I wished you well, love. You said, "A quirky cat, I want you to leave me alone." And then I thought, you know what? I'm going to.
I have a feeling that's a crossed wire because I have a feeling that somebody else has got a similar name to you, and I have a feeling it's a crossed wire where I've mistaken you for somebody else. The same when I've mistaken Buffy for somebody else.
Which is fine, but I thought, you know what? I'm going to leave this lady alone. She's had it too much. I'm going to leave her alone. And then I thought, well, you know, that's fine. Then I saw all of a sudden you in Miss Red's box getting involved in some drama with some other creators that was nothing to do with you. And if that's the case, if you can't stand the heat of all the hate and what can come with being on this app...
I don't actually think I ever went in talking about drama. I think I went in and joined in some banter.
Well, it doesn't matter. Drama, banter, whatever it is with these big creators...
Drama and banter's totally different.
Yeah, but when you're involved in the big creators with Miss Red, with Zac...
But I am a creator on the app as well, Quirky Cat.
But with being a creator on the app is going to take... You're going to get the nasty comments, you're going to get the good comments. It's going to happen. You need to have a thick backbone, and if you don't, that's okay.
Yes, I backed Luke. Yeah, okay, so people are talking about when I backed Luke. Yes, I backed Luke because I felt that what people were doing, because anti-TikToker went for Luke the same way he goes for me. That's why I was backing Luke, because of what anti-TikToker does to me. So I backed him because of what the anti-TikToker did to Luke. I think that's what it was.
But if you can't handle it on the pressure that's coming off yourself from anti-TikToker, why would you try and stand up for somebody else if you are the sort of person that's struggling under the pressure you're getting right now?
The reason being,
can I say something?
When it was just me, when I felt like it was just me, I couldn't. What's the word? When I felt it was just me, constantly had. Sorry. When I felt it was just me that anti-TikTok was constantly going for, and he constantly gone for me for a very long time, as all of you will probably know. And sorry, I'm trying to get my words straight.
Just breathe. You've got this. And I'm supporting you right now.
Sorry, B. Sorry, B's whining. I'm not sure. She wants a cuddle. I supported, supported, is supported the right word? I backed Luke, supported Luke, wanted to say, support. I wanted to say to Luke, yeah, I know how you're feeling because he's doing the same to me.
Right, Annette, I'm going to give you an example on how to handle. Right, I'm going to give you an example on how to handle things. If you look in the chat at the moment, Annette, there's some nasty comments, right, about me in the chat, right? I have no idea where they're coming from, and they're completely fake, right? I don't know what Dean is on about me fake going into hospital. I have no idea why people are saying I'm part of something called PLM. I don't even know
what PLM is.
So I can understand it. People, I've chosen to come in this big box to have a word with you, right? And I get it. Those comments, when you know they're not true, they can hurt.
Yeah.
But you've brought this up to... You put yourself in that position, and thanks, Emma. I have no idea what people are on about, but thank you, Emma, for putting that straight.
I didn't see what Emma said, so I can't comment. Sorry.
You've got to have a big backbone, and then if you feel like you've got to put yourself right and put the evidence out there, addressing it in a calmer manner is really going to help yourself. But you've got to address what's happened in the right way. Now, I do agree. I don't understand why John's going for you so much. It's very weird. I don't get... I'm a fan of Pockers. I don't like the Luna... I'm sorry, I know you don't like it, but they call it Luna Tuna Tuesday.
I know they do, and you're just explaining what they call it, and that's not a problem.
I don't like it. I think it's weird, but you're playing into it by giving them more content constantly. They are going to nitpick at everything you do. If you do not leave the app and have that break, and you're constantly about like you are today, people are going to... This is just now you rinsing it.
No, I'm not rinsing it. I'm saying that I'm trying to explain things because people are asking questions. I'm not actually rinsing it. I'm not here asking for gifts, am I? Or are you not meaning that?
No, just being here for 2 days is just you rinsing the attention seeking that people
right. So last night, yesterday was last night. It wasn't 2 days. I'm here today to answer questions and talk about it because it happened last night and people were reacting to it. Then I'm going to go for a break. Simple as that. I am going for a break and I don't know when I'm going to be back. It's not going to be next week, as some people says it is.
Something you do need to do, and I can actually relate to you, Annette, because I don't sound like it, but I am actually 5 months older than you.
Okay.
And I have got illnesses. And when I came across you, first of all, I was quite new to TikTok, all of that. And I'm quite inspired by you because I thought how brave you are. And then I go into your live and I get blocked.
Maybe that again, Buffy, is because you were mistaken for somebody else, and I can only apologise for that.
Well, there's only one Buffy CEO.
Well,
but you've got to take time for yourself. And Pitta, you need a job in United Nations.
She does. I mean, Pitta's amazing, and I've said this a million times. Buffy, you genuinely have the same username. Not talking about picture. Can't remember what I used to be in an agency, okay, a TikTok agency, which DGAG was DGAG's, and his agency manager, because it was her and him, and her name was Buffy, okay, and I genuinely thought you were her.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry for the misunderstanding, but I'm not. I know you've seen me in Pockers. I know you've seen me in Misread. Misread inspired me to start writing again. And honestly, I haven't trolled you.
Apologise for mistaking you for her. Okay.
Excuse me a second. Hang on. Guys, I see you in the comments. I will. Give me a minute. I see him.
I've already said, and I'm going to say this because I can see Zach's in the comments, or Zach wants in. I'm going to say this. Zach, I've already said that you weren't the main problem. Other people brought you up last night, Zach. It wasn't me who brought you up. Okay? It wasn't me who brought you up last night, Zach. I didn't. And I want to make that clear.
Can you hear me?
I can. I have already...
Listen, do you think we could ever be friends again? Because
No.
I think you've been influenced by the
One at a
wrong
time.
people.
No, Zach, I'm not going to be friends with you again because you have said things. You were saying things last night which I cannot forgive you for.
But I was just mad because I felt like you just
But I
were
never...
two-faced
I
because you
never
jumped in the
brought you
box
up
and
last
slagged me
night.
off.
I never brought you up last night, Zach. Other people did. I never meant...
No, but you
anybody
still went in Miss
last night.
Red's box and said I was a terrible person.
No, I didn't.
Couldn't
I
believe
said
my
you're
ears.
5% of the problem. That's not saying you're a terrible person. I said
Well,
you're
I thought we were all
5%
right.
of the problem. No, we're not, Zach. We've not been all right for a very long time.
I said we should have gone to therapy together. And
No,
talked
Zach.
it through.
Can we not turn this into a silly conversation, please?
Well, I feel like
You
you've
were
lost a good
laughing
friend
about
in
me
me because
last
you've gone
night,
over to the stormtroopers.
You were laughing about
You're a
me last
stormtrooper
night.
now.
No, I'm not.
Well, it is the third time you've quit, though, isn't it?
Now you're just doing it, Zach.
Oh no, I'm just saying there's like compilations and that in it of like different scenarios that you've quit.
Zach, I don't... I'm trying to have a sense
Do you
of
miss me?
conversation with Quirky Cat, Buffy and other people. I'm not...
Do you
your
miss me? Because
shadow.
no one's taken my feelings into consideration with this, have they?
But Zach, you were mocking me last...
We spent Christmas together. You were a Christmas fairy. You had lights on your head and everything. We had a good time. And then you went and said horrible things about me in Miss Red's box.
No, I didn't.
For this child, riding a skateboard required officer locking to be...
Is it okay to say something?
Now these same police...
Can I say, I'm sorry, I'm putting in, I've been waiting. Annette, it really broke me last night, seeing you so upset. I did comment, but the chat were going so fast.
Yeah.
And then I saw you misread as well. I have been bullied. I've been bullied horrible. I have got disabilities myself, with mobility. But you asked her if they were a way to fight. Well, I'll get the words out now because I understand how you were
Yeah.
all jumbled.
Yeah.
About any legal to change stuff.
Sorry? Say
You
that.
know when you said on Misread today, if you want to change the law on TikTok,
Yes.
it's online petitions.
Yes.
We should go to Parliament.
Yeah, shouldn't I? I probably do a better damn well job.
That's what I've been trying. I mean, honestly, that's what I've been trying to do is figure out how we get it to someone that will listen.
You've got to get so many signatures, and then your local MP has to accept it, and they can
Nigel
take it
Farage.
further.
Look, guys, I'm one of the people that speak out against bullying on the app, and I get it, it shouldn't happen, but at the same time, we all know what Zach is. Zach's a cheeky toppy. You jumped in.
I was going to say, steady,
Right.
what do you mean?
Yeah, Zach's a cheeky toppy. If you're going to jump into bed, so to speak, with Zach and hang
Annette
out,
has a soft spot for me. She knows it as well.
if I was friends with Zach and Zach didn't take the piss out of me, I'd be very, very upset. I think he didn't love me.
She
And
knows
I
it.
Right, but can I just interject and say that Annette's not really in the right headspace
but then
for
she
joking
shouldn't
around,
be.
and I
She
know how
shouldn't
Zach
be
is. Don't get me
around.
wrong, but she's
She
just
should,
not.
then she should take the responsibility to not be friends and hanging around with those people.
I'm not hanging
She
around
should
with
have a
Zach.
Jet 2 holiday.
Oh, Zach, just shut up and go away, please.
That's not very nice, is it? No need to
Peter,
be that
please drop
spicy,
him.
Annette.
I'm happy to talk to anyone else, but not him.
Well, I'm gonna. This is
Why?
open
I
nothing
miss you,
safe
my
place
darling.
for everyone.
Yeah, it needs to be a safe space for me too. That was very aggressive. There
Zach,
was no
you're the
need.
one who's making this into a big joke.
Well,
I'm not, I'm
mean,
just suggesting.
that's just who he is as a person, and that I just and it's
Bye,
like I
Peter. I'll
just
see
said.
you
You're
later.
like I said, and that's not in the right headspace. You know,
And
he
Pitter,
is,
can
Oh, she gone.
you seem like the most lovely person, Pitter, and I just
I
hope
have you
Oh,
fooled.
where's she gone?
I just hope you can get through to her head that she needs to understand her
Right, my
limitations.
Deliveroo's there. Have a lovely evening, everyone.
Bye, Zach. But yeah, and that's the thing. She was just not in the right headspace for it, and I know that's just how he is online. But
Yeah, I
you know, just
understand.
like
I know,
everything,
I understand that.
if he was at a low, he wouldn't want to throw. You know, he probably wouldn't want comedy thrown at
No,
him
he
either.
wouldn't. He wouldn't.
And it's just a personality clash,
But
and
she chooses to be friends with these bigger creators that do the drama, that do the laughing and bants, and do the more outlandish things. And that's where people see that she's an attention seeker. She wants the attention, but as soon as it turns negative or doesn't do it her own way, she throws her toys out the pram. And that's what people have a problem with. She turns rude as soon as something doesn't go her way. It's the same as with her ailments. I do not say that she doesn't have them, but as somebody who has, and she's back, as somebody who has similar ailments to her, we see that it seems to be overly exaggerated. Now, it might not meant to be that way.
You're all right, Annette.
But
You
Quirky
need to
Cat,
be
can I just, you say it's over exaggerated.
Mm-hmm.
That is your opinion. You can't say that as fact.
No,
And
and
I think that's
do
part of the
need to make
problem.
that clear.
A lot of people,
If you don't like it, you don't have to watch me.
a lot of people come. Sorry.
You do need to realise that you are on a public platform and that you have now, because you've made yourself so big, especially by being friends with Zach and Miss Red and stuff, you are more likely to end up on the FYP and have people discuss these things.
Yeah,
So
there's a difference between people who discuss it and people who are entitled to an opinion. I've got no problem with you having your opinion. What I have a problem is people like John are constantly bullying and attacking you.
Yes, and I do agree with you there. I absolutely do agree with you there. I don't think anybody should be going for people in terms of their looks and things like that. And I do feel like you are now in a position where everything you do is going to be scrutinised. And I think that does need to be stopped.
can we let Katie talk, please? Sorry.
Oh God, you'll lose 1,000 viewers now.
Okay, well that's fine because I'm not used to having more than 6 people.
So
Good with that.
I just want to start by saying, obviously, there's things that Annette's maybe said or done that I haven't agreed with in the past, and I was blocked when I commented on a video that someone was probably being quite mean to her. They were just dressed up as her, but I didn't see it maybe from her point of view at that time. So Annette blocked me, which is her choice, and I understand that. I haven't really watched much of Annette since then. And there's things that I've agreed with Annette and there's things that I haven't agreed with. But I think for me, watching last night on a different account through a Cam 2, just seeing you and how you were, and obviously listening to you speaking about potential ADHD, autism assessments and things. What I will say is I think this is probably a really, really bad place for you to be at the moment, and I know that you recognise that, and you are going to look at having a break and what have you, but I think people need to really realise that for anybody that's neurodivergent, that we have been conditioned into being a certain way, acting a certain way, trying to fit in all of our lives. So it's really difficult when you're on TikTok, where there's so many different personalities, so many different, people, and you're trying to keep up with everybody else and just not really feeling understood.
Okay, but may I answer something may I say something to that?
Yeah, of course.
So, I'm sure people have heard me say before that I just want to stay in my own lane and do my own thing.
Yeah.
I actually would rather not be going in other people's boxes. I would actually rather not be going in other creators' boxes. I genuinely would rather literally just be in my own lane, doing my own thing, having my own community, and that's it. I actually would rather that than going in and out of other people's boxes.
Let me ask you this. Who has the power to control that?
Yeah, I know I do, Pizza, but I'm also going to say this. The reason I've done that some of the time is because I feel like I need support. And I don't just mean from my mods, because my mods are amazing, especially Pizza. I am going to answer one comment that keeps coming up in the comments. Any creator who's on TikTok is in it for the attention. That's the whole bloody point of TikTok.
That is true, Annette, but you've got to be careful what attention. Look, when anti-TikToker was doing the awareness on Luke, and you decided to then jump in and grab Luke in, saying, I'm on your side. He was doing a serious awareness, I believe, at the time. You didn't even know what awareness he was doing, and you just decided to...
awareness. Are you talking Luke was doing an awareness, or anti-TikToker was doing an awareness?
Anti-TikToker was doing an awareness. You didn't even know what was going in, and just because you've got beef with anti-TikToker...
No, I actually agreed, and I supported Luke. I watched the video, and I was disgusted by it, and I supported Luke. Because I believed it was a load of lies.
You even said in the clip that I saw you that you didn't know fully what it was about.
Yes, but I learned afterwards.
At the time when you had Luke in the box, you said, I don't know what it's fully about.
Again, I misworded stuff. I regularly misword stuff, Quirky Cat. This is what we've just established. I regularly misword stuff and say the wrong thing.
I'm telling you, as somebody who also miswords stuff, I have FND, I have bad speech issues. This is why I have a lot of sympathy for you. But if you are struggling with TikTok and it's getting you a lot of grief that you can't handle for your own mental health, then maybe, I'm not going to say you need to, because that's really bad of me. Maybe you need to look at where and how big a group of people you're getting into, if that therefore getting a lot of hate. If you need less hate so you're not stressed, then getting involved with big TikTok creators means you're going to get more hate. We all know this. The bigger platform you have, the more hate you're going to get. So keeping away from the big platforms means less people, means less hate.
I've got my own big platform.
So why are you going putting your nose in other big platforms to encourage more?
Okay. Number one.
Is it okay if I say something? Is it? It's just because I've been watching this for a while, and I agree with quite a lot of what people said, especially a Quirky Cat. I mean, I love watching your lives, and I'll be honest, seeing Beast, and I think you say a lot of stuff actually that people need to hear, but I think maybe it's the delivery that's wrong, not what you're saying all the time. I think when you were speaking to Zac, and I'll be honest, sometimes I find Zac hard to watch, but you know, he's not the only one on here that says stuff controversial or that might upset somebody. There has been a couple of times on here mentioned already, and that you said stuff that people are upset with. We all do that, not intentionally, and I don't think you do anything intentionally. But I think if it is to the point where it's affecting you, need to go as someone who suffers with mental health all since the age of 14, someone who has been in and out of hospital, someone who has Asperger's, somebody who has not gone through half the stuff that some of the people in this room have gone through. I'm not saying that. I think to say that I can't word things properly does come across almost like an excuse. And I love you, Annette. I'm not saying this to be horrible, but I just think I think if you're generally going, you would go instead of. I don't think you have.
I am going. After today, I'm not on live. I've just answered that statement half a dozen
What I'm trying to say is you have no justification to give anybody. It's no one's business. If they want to speculate, let them speculate.
I need to answer stuff. The reason I feel like I need to answer stuff is for my own health. I feel like
it's not helping you, though. It's not helping you. It's making you more and more emotional.
No, it is actually
It's
helping
making you, yes. Well, it helps to a point.
Harry and I have sorted stuff out. That's the first.
Sorry.
I think a lot of people that come into your lives genuinely come in there because they want to support you, not because they have any hate for you. I think a lot of people, when they say like about you coming and going, the thing is, TikTok, you have the right to come on if you want to come on. I don't think anyone can criticize you for staying, but if you're going to stay, I think I agree with a quirky cat. Maybe stay out of some of the other big lives. I think, like you said, you've got a big enough following as it is, and I personally think if these other creators are not supporting you, don't go into their lives. Go into the ones where you can get the support. I think that watching you yesterday, seeing how emotional you were, I struggled with it because I think this world is a really, really horrible place. And the trouble is, I think when you said about the ME and cancer thing, I think that was probably taken a bit more out of proportion. Because for me, cancer is the worst illness, and I have someone at church who's going through it, and I know, my granddad had to have an operation on his head because he had skin cancer, and I think I couldn't imagine what it must have felt for those going through it hearing that. But I don't think you would have intentionally done that to upset somebody. So I think sometimes we have to realise that the world is a horrible place, and I think a lot of the reason people come on here is because they want to spread joy to people. I think that's initially what this app was meant for.
It was, yeah.
To joy people. And I think now it's been too much about, oh, how many followers do I have and how many gifts do I get? And I'm not saying that's you, I'm just saying that's what the app
No, you're talking in general, and that's absolutely fine.
And I think, you've got a good mod in Peter, actually, and I think
amazing. And she's an amazing friend.
But I think sometimes Peter actually gets quite a lot of abuse when she's helping you out in your life, and I just think it's disgraceful. And the thing is, I'm not one of these big creators. I mean, I don't come on live. I've got enough issues going on without having to come on and deal with the issues. But I wanted to come and just say to you, I know I've prayed for you before, but I know you said you were watching church online, but I think if you feel comfort in there, try and go back. Especially if it's during your break, or speak to someone from your church.
I'm already talking to people, Jack.
Yeah.
I am already talking to people.
I think this app has become a place to tear people down instead of building people up. And I just think you owe nobody anything. But the thing is, I think, when you look at what Princess Kate went through with her cancer diagnosis, the world demanding that she makes a statement or that she comes out publicly, that's what they're doing for you. They're trying to force you to give justification into something. Now, I've watched a couple of those other people that I can't remember their names, but I'm not a big fan. But I think Zac genuinely wants a friendship with you. I don't think
I'm never going to be friends with Zac again.
Can I interject here?
Hi, Miss.
this is something that I was talking about earlier when I was on with Peter earlier. Now, Annette, I already said I do not agree with any of the hate that you've been getting at all.
Okay, I didn't see you live earlier, so I apologise. I didn't know this was quite going on.
Okay, well, I don't agree with any of it. But first off, I do apologise if you hear my ringtone going off in the background. But I do think you don't help yourself at times, and I'll give an example. I'm not going to go on about the big C because that's already been hashed out far too many times. I think it was about Christmas time. Zac had said something that upset you, and he turned around and went, "Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that." But the moment you said something that upset Zac, you turned around and said, "I'm sorry, you took it that way." Rather than just saying, "I'm sorry, you know, I'm really sorry."
I don't remember. I'm sorry. I'm saying sorry to you, Mystic. I don't remember.
Okay, well,
I can't say more than that. I don't remember.
Well, as I'm diagnosed autistic, okay? So I do get what you're saying about saying things wrong and, you know, things can come out badly. I totally get that. But as somebody who is diagnosed autistic, what you don't want to do is go, "I'm sorry, but I say things wrong." What you should be doing is going, "I'm sorry. End of. No, I'm sorry, but." It should just be, "I'm sorry." Because I do it all the time. My friends that know me well, if I come out with something stupid, they just go, "Oh yeah, it's the way she is," because they know me as I am. But if it's somebody that doesn't know me and they say, you know, "That's not very nice," I will turn around and go, "I'm sorry." That's the way it should be done. Mystic. Oh, sorry.
Yeah?
Carry on. No, I was just going to say, do you not think that's part of? I'm not sure from an autism perspective, but do you not think that's about like your diagnosis and you kind of then begin to learn about yourself and things? Just from an ADHD point of view, for me, I apologise for everything that I do. Everything is sorry, I didn't mean to, sorry about that. And I didn't actually recognise that there was anything wrong with that until like after I'd been diagnosed, and you start to kind of learn about your own quirks and things. Oh yeah, 100%, because I came out with something recently.
Their magical video player down.
Again, sorry about that. My mum will turn around to me and go, "Really?" And I'll go, "What?" And she'll explain to me and I'll go, "Oh, okay." You know,
we have to remember it is a spectrum. And one thing I have said in Luna's defence, Annette's defence, is if we're not self-diagnosed, and she has said she's on the process, if she is, she's gone all these years without any support and understanding.
Agreed.
And the help that many of us have had.
I mean,
she has been told this she has been told so many times that using "but" when you're apologising, I've heard it for the last, God knows, at least a year, but after apologising negates the apology. So we'd have thought, as an adult, we'd have stopped doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I only got diagnosed, I'm 36. I only got diagnosed 2 years ago. And you do, once you get your diagnosis, you do really start to go, "Oh, okay, that's why I do things the way I do." But you are right. After so long of somebody saying, "Yeah, but," you saying "but" takes away from the apology. And when you keep doing it, it does start to go, "Well, is this genuine?" And, you know, last night, Annette, when you came on to say I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Do you know, if I was having as much trouble as you, I would literally put my phone down and go, "Right, I'm done." I wouldn't come on live and go, I'm leaving. I'd just go, "No, I'm done." And I stopped watching your live because I ended up going to bed, but apparently you did a poll about should I leave?
Well, because the reason, I'll explain why I did that. Because people were saying to me, "Don't leave, don't leave, don't leave." That's
But it's
why I did the poll, because I just on the spur of the moment said, okay, I'll do a poll. Should I leave? Yes.
That is I'm sorry, that is ridiculous. That just shows to me that it's all for attention.
Pardon?
But it's not about them. The people on the. I'll try and put it the best way I can. I'm looking at my phone now. You are just faces on a screen. You are nobody. You know, what they think is nothing. You know, if you are that genuinely bothered by what these people are doing, put your phone down, walk away. If it's because, as you said, you're generally wanting a connection with people, go on Facebook, find, like, I've joined autistic support groups. I go and talk to them because both my children are additional needs. So I will go and be like, oh, you know, I need support here.
I'm at the very beginning of that journey. One of the reasons I haven't gone on Facebook for the last year and a half, 2 years, is because my Facebook was leaked.
And make another.
Well, I'm going to, but I haven't done it yet because I've been avoiding Facebook altogether. I am at the beginning of that journey. I don't know if I've got ADHD. I don't know if I'm autistic. I am at the beginning of that journey, and like I said earlier, I scored 10 out of 10 on both tests. That's what the person who did the first assessment at my doctor's, this wasn't an online thing, this was at my doctor's, they told me I've scored the maximum points, 10 out of 10.
And that's fine, but you can still join the groups and say, you know, I'm waiting for an assessment, I'm just here to make friends.
So, Mystic, that's one of the things I'm planning on doing in the next month or so while I'm on the TikTok break. Like I said, I don't know how long I'm going off for. Last night, I was fully intent on leaving for good.
But then taking the break, you don't owe anybody an explanation. I only came on here again so I could talk to you personally. But you don't owe anybody an explanation coming on and going, well, I want to say it, because before you came back on Pitter's Live, I saw you going, let me in, let me in. If you genuinely want to take a break, you don't owe anybody anything. You could have just gone.
I feel like I need to explain myself to help myself clear my head.
What's that going to achieve?
Because it helps me get things out so I'm not bottling it all up. I've learned one thing about myself is when I bottle things up, it makes me even worse. Pitter knows that.
This is something you need to be speaking to your GP about. Yes, you're waiting for diagnosis of something else, but in the meantime, your GP can help you.
I know that, and that's why I'm waiting for another appointment in a couple of weeks' time.
And Annette, sorry to just jump in as well. I just think when you say you have to get these things off your chest because you don't like bottling it up, I think what everyone said, you don't owe people anything. And a lot of things that are said on the app, you know, don't need to be on the app. And if you feel you need to get something off your chest, you know, write it. You could have a diary. Just start. I know it sounds so silly, but, you know, people benefit from things like that. Not every thought in your head needs to be put on the app, because there are always going to be people that have something negative to say about that output. And then it's just like a cycle. It'll just keep continuing because you'll try and defend yourself. Someone will find a point they don't like, and then you'll come back. So in that case, I think you just need to recognise that it's something you struggle with, but find another outlet. You know, start writing a journal, something. Just some things just shouldn't be on the app, and it's clearly affecting your mental health. I think you need to take a step. You know, I don't know how to put it. You just can't, you know, some things just need to be off the app.
And I agree with you. I'm learning how to do things, Harry. How do I explain this? I am learning from the beginning. I feel like I'm learning who I am at the age of 51. That is literally how I feel at the moment.
Yeah.
Can I explain it any other way?
She asked to be up here. I'm not holding a gun to her head and telling her she has to be here. She wanted to be up here. Now people are in the boxes who normally
talking about this.
She's talking to people who normally wouldn't be able to talk to her. So if she doesn't want to be here, she's welcome to go. I'm not holding her hostage.
No, I could quite happily hit the disconnect button like I did earlier when somebody else was in the box who I didn't want to talk to.
Well, somebody said that I'm not protecting your mental health. This is my life. You're in my house.
Yeah,
I didn't
exactly.
drag you
Doesn't
here.
need to protect me. I'm here by choice.
Yeah.
I
Excuse me,
didn't drag her here.
Excuse me, I do need to blow my nose though, so I'm just going to mute up because I can in this one. So bear with me a minute, and other people can talk.
Can I just say, I'm going to go and let somebody else come in the box. But if you need me, Annette or Peter, I'm happy to help you with the online petitions.
I think Peter's done an amazing job.
Yeah, because I have got a little bit knowledge that way.
You're so rich. I'm going to say thank you. Could you do me a favour and communicate with Peter? Peter, is that all right? Because after today, I am deleting TikTok off my phones and stuff. I'm not going to delete my account because people have encouraged me not to. So I'm not.
No, don't delete it in case when you're ready to come back.
I am deleting the app off all of my devices. Okay?
I think that's a good thing.
I am doing that. Okay? So, yes, I am, guys. You don't have to believe it, but I am. Okay? End of.
They're being quite nasty in comments. It's awful. But no,
I try not to read the comments because people are just they want to
Literally
be
just
trolled.
ignore them.
yeah,
I mean, I was saying, I think it was Dan earlier on. Is it 3D Creations? I think.
Yeah, oh Lord. Now I forgot his creative edge.
Yeah, it was
what I have to
cutting edge.
And
What did
Cutting
you
I was saying to him, my account is completely locked down. I don't let anybody join me. I don't do anything without it. You know, it's in completely my control.
yeah.
Because I can't be arsed with half the crap that comes on here. You know, I join lives if I want to, and I will, you know, communicate with people if I want to. Other than that, I don't do it because it's not worth the hassle.
I mean,
So, you know,
When I ask people, because I genuinely
with
didn't.
things like this, you just kind of have to
I didn't.
either be thick enough to take it or walk away.
Mystic, can I ask you a question?
Go
I
on.
wasn't here when Dan was in the chat. What was Dan talking
Yeah.
about?
Opinions.
I'm going to ask, why does it matter?
Well, the thing is, for me, I don't know to this day why Dan and Sam turned on me.
Does it matter?
I'm just saying, it doesn't matter to me now, because,
Exactly.
but at the same time, I don't know why they turned on me. All I know
That's
one day they helped me move and they know my address and all that type of thing. The next time, I messaged them saying happy Christmas. Didn't hear anything back. And the next thing I see them in John's box talking about me.
what we're not going to do is talk about them behind their back.
No,
I love you.
I'm just
I love
stating
you.
my facts. I'm not talking about them. I'm just stating my facts.
That's going to be, if you need to know why, that's going to have to be between you and them. We can't.
Yeah.
We're not going to sit here and speculate what they did or did not say.
So I've got no problem with that. I'm just saying.
And I'm going to drop, and I just want to say before I go, you have an amazing friend in Pitta.
Oh, I know I do.
Personally, don't believe that you're going to leave. I personally do feel that this is all an attention-seeking thing.
No, it's not, Quirky Cat.
I would love you to prove me wrong. I would love to see you get the help that you need, because I don't believe that you're a totally bad person, because I believe that everyone can be a bit of a see you next Tuesday sometimes.
I'm all the time.
Perfect.
All the time.
Yeah, none of us are perfect. I'd love to see you prove me wrong, because I always believe that all of us can do better. I wish you nothing but the best. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for letting me
Take
come
care,
in.
Quirky.
Take care.
I do apologise if I disappear off. It'll be one of my kids coming downstairs. I've disappeared into another room. My husband's with them. So
They're gonna find you.
The only
Right.
Not hiding.
Yeah.
And that you take care, sweetheart, won't you?
Thank you, Luxury.
And I'll speak to Peter offline. if that's all
Yeah.
right with Peter.
Yep, you're good.
Okie dokie. I've followed you now anyway, so
Can I encourage everybody in here? Give Pizza a follow. She is amazing. Because I've gone off live, she's going to be doing a lot more stuff anyway because she's taking over my slots and she's taking over my community.
There we go. New Crocs. See? They're glittery. Hold on.
Peter, Dan's come in the live. He says if you he can come up if he wants to talk to if Annette wants to talk to him.
Dan, if you want to come up, I'm happy to talk, but I just don't understand why you turned against me so much.
Where are you, Dan? Oh my God, there's so many people. Help, where is he? Look, I don't know why you people let me do things. Oh, there he
I
is.
think it's the Sam account. It's Dan's wife.
I can't turn my gifts off. Pitter's the host. It's the host who controls gifts.
It's the person pushing the button that controls the gifts. If you don't want to gift her, don't do it.
And I'm
What
trying to
happened? I
encourage
invited them
people to
up.
gift Pitter.
Dan, come back. There we are.
Hello.
Dan, hi.
Yes.
Before you start, can I run to the loo?
Yeah, of course you can.
Geez, all that work to put him in the box, and then she runs away. See how we operate here? We're such an organized operation.
Chaos. It's absolute chaos.
Yes, straight chaos. If there wasn't chaos around me, I wouldn't know how to function, honestly.
Sorry, I've just finished dinner.
Jeez, I haven't even thought about dinner yet. It's only 2 o'clock.
I'm on Manjaro, so
I hadn't either. My daughter came home from work and cooked me dinner. So.
Aha.
Anything nice to eat?
Overcooked chips and overcooked nuggets. So no, not really. A proper child's meal for a 46-year-old man.
Yes. Well, why not?
Yeah.
Listen, you can't beat chicken nuggets and fries. I'm sorry. You just can't.
I mean, it's if you go to a restaurant like an Indian or a Chinese restaurant and order it, then you need to be asked to leave. But
well,
as a junk food meal, I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
Wait, now
I
I
wouldn't
feel
go
like
to
a
an Italian.
Chinese.
I wouldn't go.
Yeah, if you
I
go to
don't-
Italian and go, can I have nuggets and chips? They should just kick you out.
I'm not a huge fan of Chinese food. I eat it like once a year. Now I'm going to get reported and
I'm not a fan of it.
All right. Here we go. I'm just going to get thrown off the app now.
No,
I'm going to
Americans seem
drop
to
out
love
because I
Chinese.
know other people want to come in, and I'm going to save my husband.
So, thank you, Mystic.
Bye.
Bye.
But no, but I also don't understand people that go on holiday to like a lovely country, you know, like Thailand or somewhere like that, and then just eat full English breakfast. No clue why you're doing that. You're in that country, eat their food. Yeah,
Right.
experience it again.
It's like going to Italy to eat a pizza. Why would you do that? So much authentic food there. When you would eat something that you could get out of New York City. No.
In fairness, they do make a damn good pizza, and
Well, yeah.
what
I mean, eating it once
of
would be
American
all right.
pizza, it's not real.
Hey,
American
listen.
pizza's awful. Italian pizza, spot on.
All right, now you're going. You've never
I
had
miss
mine.
American pizza so much.
I make my own.
I like. Yeah, I do like a lot of toppings on the pizza, so the pie does appeal to me. But
not
you gotta go to the
if I
hole in
told
the
you what I
wall.
put on a pizza, you'd cry.
But the thing with America is you've got to go. Listen, I'm not saying my pizza's better than the whole world, but you got to go to a hole in the wall, podunk town, mom and pop pizza joint, because that's where you're going to get the good pizza. You're not going to find it in the middle. I mean, there will be some good pizza shops in New York City. Don't get me wrong, but if you're like in Wilton, you got to go to Pizza Time. That's it. There's no way around it.
Yeah. I honestly, if I wanted really good pizza and I was going to another country, America would not be even near my list.
Oh my Lord! Here we go.
Italy.
Here we go. Now we're going to fight.
Sorry to interrupt, guys. I'm just going to drop down now just because I need to have food and things. So, yeah.
Well, thank you, Harry.
Yeah, just wish Annette all the best when she comes back from the toilet.
Yeah.
All right, then. Take care.
Take care.
How do I get off this?
I'll get you. Oh, he's gone.
He got out on his own.
He did it himself. He's a big boy now.
I learned how to do it as well. It's the first time I've ever managed out.
Hi, I'm back.
Yes.
Can I just...
Okay, so Annette, you want to know what you did
Second, I just want to apologise for running like that. I just want to apologise, yeah.
So I have a fairly interesting question, if that's okay.
Okay.
I'm just curious, Annette, what makes you think that you're autistic?
The doctor that I saw at the doctor's, I went for an ADHD initial consultation.
You know the GPs can't do that, right? It has to be a specialist.
Initial consultation. I haven't been diagnosed yet, okay? Initial consultation by a specialist who goes to the doctors. It wasn't my GP who did the initial consultation. It was a specialist who does them around the local area, going from clinic to clinic.
Right, fair enough.
Okay, so when I say the doctors, I mean at the GPs. So,
all right, let's settle down in the comments. We know the GP can't do it. Simmer down.
Now,
she said
it wasn't very clear at all.
As to answer your question, Jade, I never even thought about autism. I was going for a talk about could I be ADHD? Is that the right wording? I'm not 100% sure. I think it's could I have ADHD, not could I be ADHD. Am I right?
Yeah.
Is it have or be? I'm not sure.
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Semantics.
I mean, you're essentially born with it, so...
I didn't say autism. It was the person I was there to see who said, I think you might also be autistic. Let's do the autism questionnaire.
Okay. And have they told you if they're going to send you for an assessment?
Yes, they're sending me for assessment for both, because on the autism questionnaire, I didn't know what I was answering. I answered the questions and she told me I scored 10 out of 10. I got all of them.
That's fair enough, but they do have to do many assessments after that.
I know.
And it will take years.
Well, they've told me it'll take, because it's an online clinic, fully, you know, under this right to choose thing. Now choose.
Regardless if it's online, it's still going to take years. I had mine done over lockdown, and mine was all online with video Zoom calls.
Okay. And how long did yours take?
About 5 years.
Yeah, well, if it takes 5 years for me to get a clinical diagnosis, 5 years. I don't know how long it takes.
Can I just interrupt there? It actually depends. It actually depends on where you are. I was referred, assessed, and diagnosed within 10 days. So it really does depend where you are in the country.
Waiting for the appointment. I've done.
Can I also jump in and just ask a question?
Can I just finish with this first, Gambit?
Yes, of course.
Annette, take your phone cover off.
Okay, it's the iPad. I'm not on my phone.
You've got a nasty echo.
Have I? I thought it was Jade who had the echo. Is it me?
Turned my mic off.
Okay, hold on. I'll take. It's the standard iPad I always use, so I don't know why it's echoing. Hold on a second.
Yeah, for whatever reason, when you're in boxes and you have your boxes open, you're echoing.
Yeah, so it's not necessarily 5 years or whatever. it can vary from where you are in the country, and it also
I absolutely understand that.
Yeah.
But essentially now, because there's a lot more people coming forward saying they think they have autism or ADHD, obviously them waiting lists have now exploded.
Yeah, they've told me it could be 6 months before I get an actual assessment. But they've told me that if I go for face-to-face, it'll be 3 or 4 years.
Have a look at any sort of, I want to say symptoms, sort of side effect things from autism or ADHD? And do you feel like yourself that you actually click with any of them?
Yes. I'm at the very beginning of the journey, and the number of people who have told me I have traits, that is why I'm at the beginning of the journey and I'm learning. I'm very beginning, so I don't want to talk about it anymore because I am at the very beginning of the journey and this is all confusing me, so I don't want to say something that then turns out to be incorrect and people attack me for saying something that then turns out to be incorrect. And I hope you forgive me for saying that.
It's Dan's turn, guys. Sorry.
So, Annette, you want to know what you done to, well, essentially piss me off?
Well, first of all, Dan, hi.
Hello.
I have, like I said a minute ago, I don't know if you heard me say, I was very grateful to you and Sam for helping me that day when I moved. Very grateful. I was very stressed, but I was also very grateful. Moving day is stressful for anybody. I think everybody will agree with that. And I texted you afterwards and said thank you. I think I even said I owe you one, which I meant. And I was looking forward to getting to know you guys as friends more. And maybe I didn't word it appropriately, I don't know. Then I sent you a message at Christmas saying Happy Christmas, because I hadn't heard from you for ages. Then the next thing I know, you're in John's. And that's all I know. So I'm going to shut up and let you talk.
Right. So, from my point of view, it was two things happened. One, changed my opinion of you. And the second actually really did wind me up. The first one was we was helping you move. You literally said to me in your house about having to go at your neighbour because your neighbour was filming me and Sam and you. And I said, do not do that. I'm leaving. My wife's going to be on her own and she's got a spinal injury. So I don't want you doing it. You said you wouldn't, then you did it anyway. So that annoyed me because you put my wife in a position she was in no fit state to deal with if something kicked off because I don't know your neighbours. And I entrusted you not to do something I thought would escalate a situation that could put my wife at risk. I apologise. You betrayed my trust by doing it.
I apologise.
Did that change my opinion? Yeah, okay.
I apologise.
Let me finish.
I just want to say sorry. That's it. I'm just saying sorry.
Okay,
there's no ifs or buts. I'm saying
okay,
sorry.
I appreciate the apology.
But I didn't have a chance to say sorry before because I didn't know that was the reason.
Yes. No, that wasn't the reason. That's what changed my opinion slightly. Now, as I've said before, and I was on this live before when I was speaking, I said, people do things all the time that annoy everybody. You're never going to agree with someone 100%. But you, regardless of that, you still remain in contact. You don't have to agree with everything someone does or does not do. So that wouldn't have turned me away. That just pissed me off. Then what happened? Then you did that giveaway for subscribers. Now, where that's concerned, the way I saw it, and I think the way a lot of people saw it, is you said subscribe between, I think Peter clarified September to December.
It was September.
And you're giving away 50 goodie bags. Okay, Annette, don't interrupt me.
I'm just confirming what you said.
From September to December. Then what happened? Yet by interrupting me again. Then what happened is all you had to do was subscribe between those months. Then you moved the goalpost slightly and said, oh, you've got to be on the Discord as well. Okay, slight little change, not a big deal. But then it then dragged on and on and on. And then eventually, when everything was said and done, you sent out 20, not 50. That is not okay. that is dishonest, and that is lying, and that is not just, I mean, that is a scam on every step of the way. It's not okay to do that. Now, Pitter explained earlier that there wasn't actually 50 subscribers between those for those months, between September and December. And as I explained to Pitter, that's fine, but there was more than 20. So what you should have done was sent out to all the subscribers that you had, that like 38, whatever it was, send it out to all of them, because you didn't have the number of 50. To hold 20 back, send only 20 out and hold the rest back for another time is scamming those vulnerable people that subscribe to you.
Can I
and
answer,
that,
Dan?
I did take exception to.
Can I answer?
Hold on, I haven't finished. No, you can in a minute. I haven't finished. So that I did take exception to. Now, when I was on John's, I never said anything of my opinion. I never insulted you. I never said anything. I simply stated the facts and what had happened and why I had pulled back from dealing with you, because I found you dishonest. And that's what I did. I didn't attack you or anything else. But what you did then was take it one step further. The very person who was a subscriber of yours that I felt you scammed, you then blocked because I named her. She'd done nothing to you, and you not just scammed her out of on that competition, but you then blocked her as well. That is
I genuinely
not okay.
don't know who you're talking about, so I'm going to ask you if you want to tell me. If you want to tell me via Pitter.
April Bland, that night you blocked her. The night I was on John's, you blocked April Bland simply because she was a victim, and that is not okay.
Well, number one, I can't remember, so I'm going to say I'm sorry. Hold on, let me finish, please, Dan. If I've let you say, have you finished? First of all, have you finished?
Yes, I'm finished.
Right. So, first of all, I want to go back to the beginning and talk about the day I moved. The day I moved, you know how stressed I was. You came into my house telling me that my neighbour was filming. What you don't realise is my neighbours had been giving me grief for 3-4 years before TikTok. I had a police case open with the police about my neighbours. Okay? There was a police case. The police were involved. My neighbours and I were offered, what's it called? Conciliation. Is that the right word? Conciliation? Arbitration, whatever the word is. Okay? I said yes, they said no. Have I still got an echo, or is it somebody else? Okay. When my neighbour was standing at the window filming me leaving my house for the last time, mediation, that's the word, thank you. When my neighbour was standing at her window filming me leaving the house for the last time, yeah, I flipped. But you've got to remember that's years of stuff coming out for me as I'm leaving that house. That's it. Should I have done it? Maybe not.
Okay, on that note...
You never said anything.
But on that note... But I'm not... Look, on that note, if you want to spin it and look at it a different way, I've had a neighbour who's an absolute nightmare, to the point where we got a court injunction against him. He got evicted, and the court injunction is still in place, and a restraining order. He was that bad. Does that mean it's okay that I will give someone else my word and then betray that? No, it doesn't, because it's got nothing to do with
I apologise that in the heat of my moving day, I apologise. That's all I can say, Dan. And I apologise to Pam. I'm sorry.
I appreciate the apology. But the point is, I think the whole point comes back to you'll never know what you did or anything else. Like you said, I have no idea what I did. Well, you never gave anyone a chance to speak. You never do.
Well, Dan, you never came to me and said anything. Otherwise, I would have known.
And you blocked me instantly before I was even off that live. Did you message me to ask me what you'd done?
Well, because you'd gone to John without talking to me.
It doesn't matter if I speak
to me.
It doesn't matter if I speak to John. I can speak to anyone I want. It's
you
irrelevant.
can, but you told me.
I spoke to John way before.
But you told me months before that you.
I'd said to you.
You told me you didn't want to get involved.
No, I didn't say I wouldn't talk to John.
You told me you didn't want to get involved.
I don't want to get involved in a drama.
Yeah.
I did not
To me,
want to get
that
involved.
means you don't want to get
Then you
involved.
scammed a load of people to give away.
Right, well, let me answer the giveaway.
It does, until you scammed a load of people on that
Let me
giveaway.
answer that then, Dan. And I've answered this already, but nobody wants to listen to my answering it. And I'm going to answer it again. I actually contacted the Gambling Commission and checked. I've got the emails to prove it if people want to see them. At the beginning of the giveaway, I contacted the Gambling Commission and said, I'm going to be doing games in my Discord for people who are subscribers to me on TikTok. Am I allowed to do this? And then give the prizes to people who enter the giveaway on my Discord and enter, what was it? A colouring competition, a fancy dress competition, a story writing competition, and Peter, can you help me out? What was the fourth one? Fancy dress, writing competition. I've just said them and I can't remember. Colouring. What was the fourth one? Can anybody remember?
Annette, do you want me to answer what your
Hold on, let me finish, Dan.
be?
I let you finish, Dan, so let me finish, please.
I know, but I'm just going to tell you, I can answer what your eventual question is going to be.
No, let me finish, please. Please,
Okay.
I let you finish.
Yeah, go for it.
So, quiz, thank you. It was the quiz. Thank you, that was the fourth one. And I made it clear from the beginning that I was going to be doing something. I giveaway of some sort. I don't... again, it might be another example of me miswording something. But I never meant it was going to be a spin the wheel giveaway. I never said it was going to be a spin the wheel giveaway. I never said anything of the sorts. And I talked to the Gambling Commission and said, does this count as a giveaway? Yes, it does. A competition is still a giveaway. It is a free to enter giveaway for my subscribers.
Free to enter if you're
Yes, it is. No. It is a free to enter for the subscribers. It is a bonus for the subscribers. This is what I asked the Gambling Commission.
So
And I've got the email to confirm that.
Oh, she has. Can I answer now?
You can.
I could, as an example, and ask them a load of questions and get exactly the answers I want. But if you email the Gambling Commission today, you'll get a reply in the next couple of days and ask them the following questions. Can I start a giveaway? And then after the giveaway has started, move the goalpost to say you have to be on Discord because those two dates don't line up. And they'll say no. Can you ask them the question, can I say I want to give away 50 goodie bags and only give away 20? They will say no.
Dan, I'll answer
the Gambling
that
Commission can only answer the questions you ask them.
About the goodie numbers. If people don't enter, I can't give away stuff to people who don't enter.
No. But you
I
had more than
bought
20
stuff and I've
subscribers for
still
that
got
period.
stuff in boxes. I've still got stuff in boxes.
You had more than 20 subscribers for that period.
I've got stuff in boxes still because nobody
There are
entered.
subscribers that subscribed from September to December in that period and had no chance of winning.
I know what I meant, and if you don't like what I meant, Dan, I can't change that.
But the
problem doesn't matter what you meant,
I
it matters what you
explained it
said.
multiple times in my live. People seem to forget that I explained it multiple times. People seem to not realise that many people didn't even subscribe for the whole 4 months.
It doesn't matter what you said. It doesn't matter what you look. Doesn't matter what you meant. It matters what you said. You said you were going to give away 50. You only gave away 20
Because there weren't the entries.
You said the original giveaway was for September to December, and you only need to be a subscriber. There are subscribers from
I never
that period.
said that, Dan. I
Yes,
never
you
said
did.
you only
Yes, you
need
did.
to be a subscriber.
You said you need to be a subscriber from September to December.
Yeah, I said you need to be a subscriber and...
No, you didn't.
No,
the original
listen.
video clearly states it.
Hey, my
So-
turn. Hey!
Look, you asked me why you annoyed me. I've told you why you annoyed me. You can spin it any way you like. I remember what happened, and that's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it.
You are
I'm not
entitled to
sitting-
your
I'm
opinion,
not
Dan. It
sitting
doesn't
here-
mean...
Hey!
Look, I'm not sitting here slagging you off. I'm not attacking you relentlessly all the time. I'm literally That's how it was. That's what I did, and that's the end. As far as I'm concerned, that was the end of it. I had a good conversation with Peter over it earlier on.
Can I? Hi, my turn.
Hello.
Hi.
It's your life. You do what you want.
No, I'm just kidding. Hi, it's my turn. No, what? And I'm sorry, Annette, but I do have to agree with Dan because this was very disorganized from the get-go, and the lead up to when the competition was actually established in Discord and all that, the rules did in fact change as we were going. So it was very confusing, and I can see
it was confusing. I will agree, it was confusing.
And
but
that's
the
where
thing is, people didn't even subscribe until into October. There was only a handful of subscribers in September. When I clarified into the first few days of October, I could have said, well, if you weren't subscribed in September, you can't enter. But I didn't say that. You know, I let people bend the rules. And literally, when other people were then attacking me, I then contacted the gambling right way. And that's what I did.
I mean, in hindsight is 2020, right? So
yes, and
there's nothing we can do about that. My turn. The thing of it is though, you like in the beginning, say the beginning of August, you said I'm giving away for 50 subscribers, and then the next week you said, all right, well you have to join the Discord, and then the week after you said, well you got to do XYZ on the Discord. So what's happening now is that you have maybe somebody that saw the first week of October or August says, okay, well now it's the 50 subscribers. They missed the middle bit about Discord. Now they're down here into September to where they've subscribed, and they missed the whole thing about. Either way, it wasn't completely set in place and set in stone before it was announced, which is where most of the problems are coming from, and that's where I can see.
I agree with you. I could have done it better.
Yeah, and like I said, hindsight.
I've said that to you myself, Peter.
Yeah, hindsight is 2020. We can every single person in this chat can agree with that. And there's nothing. I mean, like Dan said, you can.
But from the beginning of October, when I clearly said multiple times in my live, these are the rules. And from September, very few people actually subbed to me in September. Very few who weren't already subscribers.
Right, but from as somebody who goes live very sporadically. You don't have a set schedule. So like Miss Red is on, say, from 8 a.m. to noon, yeah? So people don't know when you're going to be on. So if they were looking for what the actual rules were going to be, they don't know when you're going to be on because you and I just come in sporadically. So it comes down to there were too many variables at the beginning that ended up changing, and it just turned into an absolute shit show. And and
quickly, just quickly, Annette, I said to Peter earlier, I do not believe you set out to scam people with that giveaway. I do not believe that you did.
Hey, he's talking.
Okay, let me finish. I didn't believe you set out to do that. What I believe happened is, inadvertently, that's happened. And you only sent out 20 goodie bags, and there should have been 50 sent out. If there wasn't 50 subscribers, what you should have done when all this kicked off is gone, look, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I'm going to send out a goodie bag to everyone who has subscribed between that date from September to December. And then that would have been the end of it. But you didn't. And that's what makes it suspect. That's what makes it a bit
Can
scammy.
I answer that, Dan? Can I?
Yeah, of course go.
Number one, why on earth would I have brought all the stuff if I was trying to scam people?
Well, you haven't sent it out. You keep it for the future giveaways, apparently.
That's the first question I'm asking. If I was planning on scamming people, why would I have not sent the stuff out? Number two, when it came from October to December, I didn't have 50 subscribers. I didn't. And I don't even know now, because you can't look back that far.
How many did you have?
Subscribe that far back. Or if you can, I don't know how to do it.
You could at the time.
By the way, I've definitely got an echo.
You had more than 20. Yeah, you had more than 20. And I know you had more than 20.
How it was to be entered. I made it clear how it was to
You
be
didn't
entered.
make it clear you weren't going to send out 50. You made it clear you were going to send out 50.
No, I made it
If you
clear
didn't
that
have
I
50
would let
subscribers,
people who entered have the prizes.
Right, but the thing is that
no, you were going to send out 50. You changed. Look, you said you were going to send out 50. You didn't. That's what it falls down to for me. Changing the rules halfway through, I'm going to ignore for now, because that is, again, not allowed by any stretch of the imagination.
I didn't change
But
the rules
you were
halfway
sending
through,
out
Dan.
You didn't mention Discord when you first announced the giveaway being from
Because it
September to
moved to
December.
Discord because
There's screen
it's
recordings of it, and
easier to
we
do it
have
on
the
Discord
proof.
than do it on TikTok. That's why it moved to Discord.
Yes, but you didn't state that at the time.
Well, because it moved to Discord.
People who
in the first
subscribed
couple of
before
weeks
you
of
said about
October.
Discord.
And I made
It doesn't
clear to
matter.
people in
If
my
you
life.
said at the time you started, after you started the giveaway.
But at that point, I'd already said
This
it's
is the
going to be
point. You keep
games.
skipping it.
No, Dan.
It doesn't matter. If you
I'd
started
already
the giveaway,
said.
you can't change the rules.
But I'd already, Dan, this is the point. Everybody assumes I meant a giveaway as a literal giveaway where
You said
you
giveaway.
spin a wheel and choose 50 people. That's never what I meant. And I said that at the beginning. It's going to be a game-based giveaway. I made that clear at the beginning.
Look, Annette, look, right? I'm not trying to be funny here, but you're not fooling anybody. And before you interrupt me, let me finish. You not only did you say giveaway and then change it to a competition, but you done a video saying that you did it and then apologising and saying you meant competition.
Yes,
So you
because
know.
but I spoke to the Gambling Commission and they said competition giveaway, it doesn't matter what word you use, it's the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
I've talked to them since this.
You must have talked to Bob, who usually holds a broom, because I assure you, it is not the same thing.
I
And they
have
would
talked
never
to them,
officially
Dan.
say it.
I have
Look.
talked to them.
You changed the rules halfway through a giveaway. You changed the rules, and you know you changed the rules because you made a video about you saying you meant something else. You didn't mean giveaway.
I know I said,
and you knew.
I did a video saying the word competition, and I can't remember the video because I haven't watched it in a long time. But I know I said...
Annette, you're missing the point. You're missing the point.
Okay,
of what
if I'm
saying,
missing the
'cause you're not
point, Dan, can you make it
let
clearer?
me
Because I'm
finish.
struggling with getting your point.
Yeah, then let me finish and you'll get it. If you keep interrupting me, you'll never understand it. My point is, the simple fact is, when you said giveaway, you didn't mention Discord. You then added that in later on, which as a result meant you've changed the rules. My point of all this is, stop backtracking and trying to figure out little angles to say what you did. What you did was wrong. Own it, apologise, and make up for it. So,
Right.
And that's
Can I
it. That's all
answer
you've
that,
got to
Dan,
do.
please?
Go
Can
on.
I answer that?
Yeah.
Right. Number one, when sorry, I'm feeling very. You've got to remember at this minute, I'm feeling very emotional about everything from last night. Okay, so please
Don't get
bear
upset,
with me.
Annette.
Please bear
Breathe.
with me
You've got
because
this.
at this minute I'm trying to pull myself together.
Time.
Annette, while you're doing that, can I just say one thing? Right? I understand majority of the people that you say are bullying you or have a problem with you, they all say the same thing. At the end of everything, they say, if you can just do A or B, which is either take accountability, apologise.
That's not
about
what John and Pockers say. They're
hold-
constantly attacking
He's
me.
still stop interrupting him.
Let me finish. So what I'm saying is, if you stop being so, I mean, don't take this as rude, but stop being so goddamn belligerent and listen to what people are saying to you. If someone says to you, if you just took accountability and apologised without a but, we could draw a line under it. You've tried every other angle, it hasn't worked. Why not try that? Just give it a shot.
I'm
Because
trying
honestly,
to explain to you what happened.
It doesn't matter. The point is, what happened, happened. What, at the end of the day, you have to accept from start to finish, it was wrong. If you accept it was wrong and you apologise for it and you do your best to find out who subscribed between those dates and send them a goodie bag, you solve the problem, because you've done two things people keep asking of you. You've apologised and you've taken accountability. And if you do both those things, people will accept it. But you don't do it, and as a result, people get pissy and angry all the time, and then you just then you get upset and act like you're the victim in all of this, and it just makes everyone more angry. You're basically in a chamber of bees shaking it up all the time. If you took accountability and apologised, people wouldn't stop going on at you all the time.
Can I just say, Dan, because Annette, what I'm hearing is you're applying logic to what you think is being said, and people are saying, but if we're hurt, we're hurt. You're looking for the logic in it and apologising at the same time. If people are hurt by something, I don't think it's just the logic. They're hurt by something. So the logic of why or what the background is. The thing is, mitigates.
I agree with you, Jane. Yeah, honestly, 100% agree. But here's my point. If you take the bullet out of the gun, you take away the ammunition, the fact that if they then keep going, they're the arsehole. But while the ammunition is still there and live, they're never going to be the arsehole. And that's the point. The whole thing with the cancer comment, as I explained earlier, Annette said, oh, it was an article. Now, honestly, I've seen the video, I've seen the aftermath of it. Annette said it, and then looked for a reason why she said it. When it, in
I
fact,
didn't, Dan. I knew about the article in
I said it. That's great. If Annette literally just did a video and said, look, I'm really sorry, I shouldn't have said it, it was wrong, that's the end of it. It's gone. But that's never happened. There's always been but. And that's the problem.
Where did you go? Come back here. I only muted you so we could explain.
Can I say something about the competition? Because I said this in Red's box, and it seriously would have been easier to do the Squid Games. There would have been more chance.
Can I talk for a minute?
I've waited for ages. Is it all right? Because I just wanted to say one thing, Peter, if that's all right. Thank you. Because, Peter, my interest is not to come and challenge directly Annette and stuff anyway, but what I am sort of miffed by is I recall that one of the videos she did with Zac says, oh, it's my ADHD, and she says it's not an excuse.
Exactly.
I'm diagnosed with ADHD. I deliver training on ADHD, mental health, whatever. I'm absolutely an advocate of this stuff. What I struggle with then is someone who called someone out as, you can't say that's why you are the way you are, and then come onto a live and that be, this is why I am the way I am, right? So I absolutely wish Annette well if this is her journey now and she's going to understand more about herself, because I have done the same, but I never denied other people's experiences before that. I wouldn't have called someone out and said, you can't say because you've got ADHD, you do this. And then now I go around saying I've got ADHD, so that's why I do what I do. Now, I know Annette's in a difficult place right now, so I'm wanting to take this opportunity while she's not actually here, Peter, but you obviously seem like a very sensible person who's around her. I think, as I said, what I was picking up from Dan there is, I'm hurt by X, I'm hurt by my wife being put in a difficult position, and Annette's hearing, but I didn't do that. And actually, she's applying the logic to someone's emotional issue, and logic doesn't always answer what someone's feeling or why something's happened. I don't know why she's put herself up here to face all the questions. I just don't know how it's helping her herself, but I know that's not your decision. But my issue, as I said, was more directly calling someone out for, and then spending tonight saying, this is why I'm,
Can I say, Jake, sorry, love, I actually agree with you. Have you finished, darling, by the way?
Sorry, I just wanted to get here.
I'm actually glad she's dropped down because I'm quite angry about this, to be honest. I'm ADHD and autistic. Now, I do understand that you don't understand your own emotions when you're undiagnosed. You need to understand yourself later on. You need to get to know that. But you were correct. Zac was always saying, Zac is an absolute amazing personality. He's brilliant. I love watching him, and this isn't hate towards Annette or anything, but I just like Zac. He reminds me so much of my son. He's an amazing guy for me personally. No hate towards anybody, but the only person who's ever gone in her live to support her is Zac. None of these big creators last night who were supporting her have given her time of day, not once. Now Zac has a soft spot for Annette, and it's okay to take it, but she can't take it. So for me, she's the victim all the time. She's playing the victim all the time. It's excuse after excuse after excuse, and it's all me. And she's quick to judge other people, but she can't take it back when people try and tell her. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't want to hurt the lady's feelings. Obviously, she's gone through a lot, but she should have come off that live last night. 4 hours she was on there, and she took all that money, all them gifts, and with them big creators who have never given time of day, yet she was on there for 4 hours taking money and gifts.
Agree with you on quite a lot of that. I think the main thing is she's a very vulnerable lady.
Yeah.
I also think she's really clever, and I think unfortunately with the whole autism and ADHD, it's just going to be an earner for her, because at the end of the day, TikTok and gifts and things are starting to come to an end. And I think the only thing that she's got wrong with her is that she's a lazy fat bitch, and she needs to sort herself out. Like, I'm not being funny. The only issue that woman has got is the fact that she...
Yeah, that's true.
No.
Yes,
it's for Peter. Peter, I've been asked to ask you a question. You ready? Peter, can you, John has asked, can you unblock him so he can come in and draw a line under all this crap?
How do I do that while I'm still live?
I have no idea.
You're actually quite a nice lady, and I think you're more understanding, and I think you're actually seeing the real thing here now. And I was going on about the...
you can't pay compliments to Peter, she doesn't like it.
Well, it's how I feel. But and I agree. She did say all them things about the
I agree with you.
competition as well.
I'm going to drop now. And well said. Peter, you asked if you can do it on live. Go on your share settings, and then it's moderation settings, isn't it? And then your block list. It depends if you've got loads of people blocked. Though,
Someone's got me. He should be all right. I think Chloe said she unblocked him.
Okay, but I'm going to drop. Thanks so much for letting me up. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, Jake.
Thank you. Bye.
Now, Lisa, honestly, this started as more of a hate live. It's been, well, we went from me and Slaylicious talking politics because I came on saying about how the laws need to change. It has nothing to do with John. It has nothing to do with Steven. It has nothing to do with anybody. It has something to do with everybody, to where the laws need to be changed that they keep up with cyber. It's not just TikTok, but like Miss Red said this morning, she's been doxxed on live. That should be 100% illegal. No questions asked. And there's just certain things that need to be black and white illegal. And that's just the way it is. And the laws have not.
I just feel that she... Oh, are you back? Sorry.
I accidentally clicked on a message. The laws themselves have not kept up with the internet, period. And it just is, you know.
I mean, she feels like she's being attacked all the time, but she does it herself to other people. She sits there and says, read between the lines and all this, and, you know, if you can't give it, do you know what I mean? It's one way or the other way, or it's her way or the highway. You know, it's not right. And poor Zac was mentioned last night, and he's not done nothing. He's not said anything about Annette, and he's been targeted today. And yeah, I am a supporter of Zac, and I liked Annette at one point, and she got blocked because I asked her if she was okay. She didn't look well, and I got blocked. You know, Zac did nothing to that lady this past few weeks. He's been there for her more than any of these creators that were in there last night. 100%. They had a good banter between them. She liked the banter when the banter was going on, but once the ADHD was said, you can't blame the ADHD for it, then how can she do that now herself?
As far as Zac is concerned, and I'm going to let Lucy go after me, but as far as Zac is concerned, it's a different personality that I don't think she knows how to deal with. Like, it doesn't register the sarcasm. I'm fluent in sarcasm, and that's just the way I am. She doesn't register sarcasm most of the time. So
no, I get that. You can see that.
yeah, and I think that's a huge part of the misunderstanding, is that she doesn't register the sarcasm, and that's how Zac shows he's being friendly. And
he's an amazing personality.
Right.
He's huge, and his banter is. Unless you don't understand his banter, then you're going to feel like Annette does. But she takes it when she wants to, and she takes it when she doesn't.
And I mean, I'm not. That's a thing that nobody's going to be able to change. It's just how it registers in her head, and unfortunately, some people just don't jive with each other because that's how it is.
Yeah, exactly. And I do feel for her, but at the end of the day, I feel for Zac. The poor man's done nothing. He's done nothing.
Like, in our eyes, we can see it from both sides, but you got to remember, she's 51 years old. So now that we've all established that she has XYZ possible diagnosis, now after 51 years, she has to digest all of that.
Yeah, I'm 52 and I've not only been diagnosed with it, so it took me a long time to digest it.
It's a lot. Like, I grew up diagnosed with ADHD. I'm still trying to chew on the fact that I have severe panic disorder, and it's been 10 years. So it's a lot to digest, to just all of a sudden wake up one day and someone tells you, hey, listen, you've got this. And there's still such a stigma around mental health issues that it's hard to accept.
Excuse me. Yeah, how can you explain to people how you feel if you don't understand your own mind? You know, mental health is the past. Anxiety is what's coming, you don't know. That's the difference in all this.
Yeah.
You know, I do feel for her. And she does feel like she's been attacked, and she doesn't take things how other people would take it. It's like she's no personality, really. And I don't mean that negatively. It's just how I see it. But at the end of the day, poor Zac was... I felt for him last night, but she was on that live for 4 hours, leaving, getting all the gifts, had the big creators in. Corey brought Zac up, and the poor lad did nothing. And it's just not... It's not fair. It's not fair.
Yeah, I mean...
He's got mental health himself. He's got mental health issues himself, ADHD. You know, he knows more than, probably us that have just been diagnosed with it. He's lived with it, and yourself, a long time.
Yeah.
She's not been diagnosed, though.
Exactly, she's not been diagnosed.
She's working on it, yeah.
Emotion to go through the whole diagnosis. I've seen my daughter go through it.
Yeah.
And the Zac thing, I think he's hilarious.
Yes.
I'm 51.
I do too.
But for Annette to say, oh, it's a generational thing, well, no, it's not.
I'm the same age as her. And I mean, someone's just said in the comment there, Zac was mocking her with the others. No, Zac was probably hurt because he was brought up last night and he's done nothing wrong. So he's reacted like Annette would react.
Yeah.
Yeah, ADHD is a huge spectrum too. I see you, John. Hold on a minute.
It's neurodivergent, you see. So. But anyway, I just thought I'd come up and have me say it. And I do hope she's okay. And it's not nice to feel like you're being bullied. It really isn't. But it's either her way or no way, and she needs to see it from other people's perspective too. That's how I feel anyway.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
Can I just say thank you again, Peter, for letting me up? And
thank you for coming up.
I've got the misunderstanding on which Buffy, but there's only one CEO.
Yeah.
Have a great day, everyone, guys.
You too.
Take care.
Thank you, Peter. And I do hope she's okay, but I think she's been caught out tonight, really, and that's why she's gone.
Well, and everybody's saying, well, I called her out and she disappeared. This is the kind of thing, this is what I say all the time, and I know most of you have not interacted with me very much, but I will generally take someone if they've done something wrong, and I would never publicly out them. I will pull them aside and say, hey, listen, you're out of order. It is very rare that I would stand here. There is a fucking bumblebee in my face. It is very rare that I would stand here and say, "Hey, listen, you're doing wrong," especially in front of over 1,000 people. I would never do that. But this started because people wanted a safe place to air their grievances where, like I said, this is my house, my rules.
Yeah.
People are saying I've been muted in Annette's live, I've been blocked, I can't talk to her. Well, this ended up being a spot that you could say what you needed to say and stuff like that. And it's my house, my rules. It's sometimes my room. Sometimes my room is a safe space. Sometimes it's not. It's a crapshoot.
Well, anyway, I think you're a really nice, genuine lady, to be honest with you.
Thank you. I have you fooled as well.
Yeah, and I think you see it from both sides too. But look, thank you for letting me come up, and I do hope she's okay. And I'm glad. And to be honest, I'm glad she wasn't in the box, because I would have told her to be quiet and don't interrupt. But that's me, outspoken. But anyway,
I am too.
I'm a Zac supporter all the way, me. So I just thought he needed somebody to say for him, because the big creators aren't going to do it. But anyway, thank you for letting me up anyway, love, and goodbye,
Thank you
everyone.
for coming up.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll let Lucy talk and then I'll drag more people in.
Thank you. Although I kind of feel like my point is a bit invalid now because everyone's gone. Because it was about the giveaway while Dan was in here. So I'm just going to throw in a bit of devil's advocate as a participant of the giveaway. So I don't believe, that Annette set out with any malice intentions. Bear with me, my heart is like palpitating because I don't do this. So I don't believe she set out to scam, but I think she announced the giveaway far too prematurely. Like, I think it was just she was on live once and she went, I think I'll do a giveaway, but hadn't thought about it. And then all the thinking happened after the announcement. And that got really confusing, and I actually believe that Annette got confused with what actually was the rules and wasn't the rules at some points through the whole giveaway, and what the deadlines were for what, and it was quite confusing. But I totally get what Dan was saying about, well, just give everyone that subscribed a goodie bag. But then what would be the point in us participating and doing the competition if everyone was going to get one anyway? She could have just sacked the competition off and just given everyone a goodie bag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
So not that it wasn't a ridiculously hard task to do the competition, but I did put effort in, and I would. It would have felt, she would have had people coming at her had she have then just said, okay, only 30 people entered, or 30 people entered, I'll give everyone a goodie bag. But then the other 20, I'll just go to my other subscribers because I might as well give them away and you all subscribed. But then it was kind of, she would then get backlash because people would say, well, what about the competition? They put all the hard work in and then everyone just got a goodie bag anyway. So I think she would have got backlash regardless.
It was an impossible situation that started with
it was exciting. Announced exciting. Oh, I'll do a giveaway. But
she was excited, and it started because everything wasn't set in stone before she let it fly.
They've done like a clear, even if she briefed it with you first or some of her mods, like I'd have happily helped her edit a post that was worded, so I just think it could have won. I know that holding on to goodie bags maybe isn't the best thing to do, but then had she have just given them out to all the subscribers, then somebody would have picked fault and said, oh, well, that's not fair for those who entered, because it wouldn't have been. So it was.
Hang on, John. I have to request the other respect the other panelists. Lucy asked to be done before you came up, so.
Sorry.
I see you.
I'm just being really quick. It was a bit of a shit show, but I don't think she meant to scam, and I think she was in deep water, drowning, and she just didn't know how to respond, basically. And in hindsight, she perhaps didn't act in the right way. But, you know, like Peter was saying, 2020 vision, you know, hindsight. So, you know what, I think you take it as a learning curve. If Annette's listening, it's a learning curve. If she ever was to do anything like that again, then she would know to plan it properly beforehand. And that's all I really just want to say as someone who entered the competition and actually genuinely enjoyed it, because I'm a bit of a colouring freak. So that's my second life. But I'm going to leave now because I hate this.
Goodbye. Sorry, she did text me. I had to respect her asking.
Hello.
Hello.
How is it that she's always the common denominator? You look at John, you look at Jack from Spartans, you look at Ben, you look at her neighbour. Why is she always the common denominator? And then another thing, she rabbles on about her personal assistant and how she can't shop, but she can travel miles and then join a protest of less than 5 people, undesirable, one could say, outside TikTok's head office. How can she possibly do that when she's so ill with her ME and her mobility is affected? And I'm speaking a 34-year-old male who, within the last 2 years, due to a COVID jab, paralysed on the left side. And obviously, you can hear by my speech as well. I just think she's the biggest hypochondriac ever, and it's all for attention, because when she wants to, it suits her and she can do things.
Well, in her defense, there are days that I can take on the entire world. Now, I don't have the same disorders. I have other things. But some days, depending on your disability, you can conquer the world. And other days, you can't even put your socks on your feet. So, I mean, it all boils down to the severity of your own disabilities.
That's very true, Peter. Very true.
It's a bit coincidental, and I understand that, and I agree with you. But obviously, why is she never been on a TikTok live on a good day? Because whenever she's live, there's always an ailment or there's always something wrong. You never see her on a good day live. She's never positive. Oh, I'm feeling good. Oh, I'm not in pain. There's always something. So, does she have good days?
Would you assume, based on me, what type of day do you think I'm having today?
Moderate, because you've gone outside to get fresh air. Limited movement. Moderate?
Nope. I haven't got the energy to do jack shit.
Right.
I can put on a face and I can function because I have kids and a husband and I have opened my platform to this. So have I spent all of my spoons and taken some from tomorrow? Probably.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. You know, yes, she does have good days, but it depends. Everything fluctuates, you know. Last week I could have, or yesterday I had the energy to take on the world. Today I don't even want to pick up the broom. It just varies day to day, honestly, and every disability is honestly different. So her good day baseline could very well be a good day for her, would look like a 4 or 5 level day for me. You know, like you said, a mid. It's just it would all depend on baseline.
You're all
honestly.
individuals. We're all individuals.
Like right now, you can't see my heart problems right now. I can feel my heart trying to beat right out of my chest, and I took my meds. But you can't see that. It's health is rough.
Could I just come on, just to jump on a little bit? Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. I followed Annette from her coming onto the platform pretty early on, and I really quite liked her. I am a cancer survivor, and I also have chronic fatigue syndrome. Although there was that fact that she put out there, I still followed her up until she asked us as a group, as a community. She done a poll, and the question that she answered, the question she asked was an answer of yes or no. Those of us that said no were automatically deleted. We were gone. I still followed Annette from a distance, but I do not agree with her. And someone who suffers from chronic fatigue every single day, I'm a 60-year-old woman, and I've had this for 30 years. I personally think, and I don't mean any disrespect by this, but I personally think that Annette does not have the mental capacity that other people her age have. Therefore, I feel that TikTok is not the place for her. She's probably lived a sheltered life. I don't know. But I think a lot of what has been said to her and about her is because she brings it on herself. And yes, I have followed John. I was quite sad to see the fallout there because I thought that that was a nice friendship. I was saddened to see that Annette seems to fall out with an awful lot of people, which is very sad in this day and age. But I thank you for letting me come up, Peter, and chat, and see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Peter,
Oh, sorry.
is it all right if I speak next, or did you want someone else to talk? So the reason why I joined tonight is not to cause any drama or try and get views or anything like that, because to be honest, there was a time a few weeks ago where I was thinking of not doing TikTok anymore anyway. The truth is that after hearing so much tonight and hearing the way that you're handling it, I completely changed my opinion on you as a friend to her. To hear that, and I'm not talking about just agreeing with other people that don't like her. I'm talking about the fact that you're actually trying to explain each situation clearly. And that is something that, as a friend, when I was a friend, was something that I really did think I was trying to do, and perhaps it didn't come across in the right way. So I wanted to come in here, first of all, and say that I respect you a lot for the way that you've handled it today. And it's good to see that she's getting the right level of support as well, regardless as if you think I'm bullying anyone in here, whatever. I understand that people have a viewpoint on that and a difference of opinion on that. What I wanted to offer today, and it's purely there because I've seen how she's been affected, and not just by me, but by so many people that, and I've read some of the comments that she gets, they are terrible. They are really bad. Some of the things I've seen where people have told her to go and do things to herself, etc., are absolutely disgusting and vile. I would very much like to try and put some of this behind us and move on to other things. I don't really know how to say this, but I would love to have a call with her to discuss that and put it to the side now, and watch her grow. And what I mean by grow is that for the first time tonight, I felt that she was actually willing to listen. Like, okay, she did get a bit upset and she's left and all of this sort of stuff, but there were points tonight where I actually genuinely believe she was taking on board the feedback from people. I thought that was what was happening initially with Dan. Unfortunately, I think she got a bit emotional and reacted poorly at that point. But I did genuinely think she was willing to listen. And if she is now getting to that stage in her mental health and her life and everything, then I do believe that there's room to try and resolve other problems and allow both of us to move on from it. That is a genuine offer. Like I said, I'm not trying to cause any more problems. I've come to you, not to her. I've not posted about it. You know, I just wanted to come in here and say that. And it might not be the right time. She's seeking out support now, and she's being diagnosed or questioned about diagnosis that I had no idea about at the time, which do perhaps explain a lot of the things that I experienced as well. And I do think that it would be good to have that conversation at some point. So I just wanted to come in here and say that. And, you know, I don't want to go over the points of drama. You all know what my belief is on a lot of it. You all know what her belief is on a lot of it. But I thought I'd come in and say that to you, Peter. And I did actually try sending you a direct message on WhatsApp, so I didn't have to do it through here. But I don't think we are able to communicate that way. So I did try and do it off of here as well. But that's all I wanted to say. I don't want to take up any more time. And, you know, I do actually think I've changed my opinion on you. I think you're actually helpful. And it's good to see that you're willing to support her more than I did. So, yeah, thanks for the time, and I'll leave you to it.
Thank you. Thank you, John.
Thanks.
Hey, Peter.
Hi.
I think you've done amazing today. I think you are what everyone calls a true friend. Not every friend will tell the truth about situations. They'll just totally agree with that person. So I think you're amazing, friend. I think if everyone could have a friend like you, they'd be a lot better off in life. Just a few points I'd like to make. It's my opinion. With the situation with Luna declaring that she was leaving the app last night, for her to only say, oh, it's 5% Zac's fault, is giving the click, if you say, leverage against Zac to even go at even more. Now, we all have mental health and things. Obviously, we know Zac suffers. So for them to like go ahead and attack him over that 5% comment is disgusting. Should apologise to him for that. She was a better person when she was going in Zac's live. You know what I mean? He helped her. The lives were hilarious. So I think he just tried to help. That was it. So that's my opinion. And I think the Clicker are very dangerous people. They move as one person. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. And I think probably Annette was... what do you call it? Probably coerced to say something like that. That's my opinion. I think it's disgusting.
I have a question. Who are these Click people?
Click, Red, Luke, Corey, Cockapoo. All them people.
My FYP is very American.
I know you don't follow them. I know you're using. I came on your live the other day and there was a caterpillar. Was it a caterpillar?
Uh-huh.
Oh, do you collect them then?
Yeah, it's they're in season now, so the monarchs are out laying eggs, and then I have enough milkweed in my yard that I just go and pick the eggs off and bring them inside, and then I hand rear them.
It's so fascinating.
Yeah,
so
they are cool.
I was like, what's that? Yeah.
Yeah, I've got one. I've got one ready to chrysalis here, probably tomorrow.
Oh wow! And will they all turn into butterflies then?
Yep. as long as they don't pass on their way through, like I had one the other day. I had to
Oh
euthanize.
no.
Yeah, I had to
Oh
euthanize a second one the
no.
other day. But yeah,
Oh no.
hopefully, they have a better shot when they're inside with me than they do if they're outside in the wild. But still, I mean, nature is nature. It just happens.
Yeah, yeah. Nature and nurture, isn't it?
Hmm.
Sometimes, well,
Yep.
it's like humans. So, where do you live then? New York?
Yes, northern New York. I'm up by Canada.
Oh wow. Do you enjoy living there? Oh, you've
Most of
got a
the
cat as
time.
well.
Yeah, excuse him. He knows the
Yeah.
camera's on.
Yeah. Oh, bless
All right,
him.
look, they can
But
see
yeah, I
you,
just
okay?
wanted to say hello. Yeah, I just want to say that about Zach though, because I feel like he gets the blame for a lot of stuff,
Yeah, and
and
like
he's just there to have a laugh.
and it's his personality, honestly. Like, I think he's funny, but I
Yeah,
can see where
I
somebody
do. I
that
do.
doesn't normally have understand humor like that, I can see where he would come off as quite offensive.
Yeah. But she had a choice by going into his lives. She had a choice by going into battles with him. I think a lot of it was probably money orientated.
Yeah,
Because Zach's got such a big following and support network, and I didn't even know who Annette was until she came in Zach's box.
right.
So
Right. Oh, hello, Tyler.
no kids, please.
That sounded
But
like a
yeah,
baby.
I think you're amazing anyway, and I think you're going to get a lot of support from this, deservingly. And I hope you do well tonight, and don't stay on here too long. We don't
No,
want
I
it to
won't.
affect
I'm
your
gonna.
mental health.
Yeah, it's already
But it's
3:30
nice
here, so
speaking to you.
nice to talk to you.
Right,
Thank
thank you
you.
for letting me in the box. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Can I speak a minute?
Yeah.
All right. First of all, hi, Pitta, and your
Hi.
cats, and everyone else. I have been following Annette from afar for quite a while, and some people have said, that, she's not really with it, but I think she's a very smart woman. I think that you can't get as far as she has by not being smart. She knows TikTok. She knows how to play the game like so many content creators do. I think that she needs to take a break for her mental health. I think that what she's doing is great, but it seemed to change from 1 minute to the next. 1 minute it's I'm leaving TikTok altogether. Then it's no, I need to take a break. Once loads of people had joined and was like being yes people to her, it went to I need a break. That I just think she needs to figure out what she wants and sticks with it, and not be led by other people's wants from her, and focus on what she wants, because she was very clear at the beginning, I'm leaving TikTok.
That's the thing, is that last night it intended, because I talked to her beforehand, it was intended to be like a short half hour, hey, I'm leaving, everything like that. And then she's just, everybody kept saying, no, don't go, no, don't go. And then like Corey and them came in and started talking to her, and then it ended up being dragged out. Well, as everybody was sitting there trying to convince her not to go when she was blatantly telling us in the beginning she needed to,
And I
she
think
needs
that's
to
the
do this.
thing. She surrounds herself with yes people that will just tell her what she wants, instead of someone like you who's very honest with her in this live. And I think that behind the scenes you probably would do the same by you saying, actually, the competition did start off like this and then everyone got confused. It's like she did the book club that she wanted to set up, and I'm a Christian. And I was so excited. I was like, Annette, I'd love to join. Complete radio silence. There wasn't even a confirmation of, I'm sorry, but I don't really want you to be involved. And then that leaves bad taste in people's mouth when she wants to do something and then doesn't even speak to the people. And I just think that she just needs to stick with what she wanted to do. And I think the problem is she has so many people in her ear, and then it gets all confusing. But another thing that Dan mentioned on a live with John that he didn't bring up to her that should have been was he lost money in the competition because she'd asked him to do fidget spinners, and apparently he made them, and then she ghosted him and didn't respond. And so then when people were doing like buying things from him, he was giving them away just to get rid of them. And I think
I had no idea about that. So
yeah, it was in John and Dan, when he joined John's live, he'd said this is what's happened. So he was saying, if anyone buys from me, they're going to get these little fidget spinners, and they were meant to be part of the pack. And he says that was the final straw for me, was the fact that she affected my business. And I think he wasn't completely honest with her for another reason why he ended it. And I think that if he'd have brought that up, Annette could have been like, oh, yeah, that has actually affected your business. I get why you're annoyed with me. And I think that then it might have clicked a bit of understanding from her why he reacted the way he did. And I'm not saying this because I hate her. Not at all. I think that she's a very smart woman, but a very troubled woman right now with her mental health. Yeah. But I just think that she knew what she wanted to do, and she just needs to stop listening to other people. Because I knew that the moment when people said to her, well, since you did that post and you gained so many followers, like thousands of followers, she started laughing and smiling. If I was going to leave TikTok for good, I wouldn't have cared that I had new followers, because I would have been like, what's the point? I'm leaving.
Yeah, I mean, the laughing and smiling could have been, I can't make excuses, but there's something like in disbelief that very well may have been, because, let's see what I'm at now. Yeah, I've gained almost 1,000 followers today. That's kind of, it very well may have just been a smile of disbelief. And unfortunately, I think by the time that Dan had come on, she had already gone into defense mode.
Yeah.
Just naturally. It wasn't, it's just, she had already been under fire in my life, which she put herself in here. So I'm not saying that anybody's innocent in this situation, but she had already been under fire, so she was already stressed out about it. And then once Dan started firing at her, even though she asked for it, it was too much for her to handle. And at some point, your mental health will break, and you do have to step away and realize that, all right, now this is the time. She may not have been ready. She made that video last night. She probably wasn't ready to take a break. That's why she's been popping up today. Now she's ready. Now she knows she's hit her breaking point. I'm seeing people say that her account's gone. She hasn't texted me that I saw. But a break is a break. And I'm not going to, like I told somebody who's messaging me, I'm not going to hound her. She knows my number if she needs me. She has a safety plan in place. It's, she hit her breaking point, and whether she brought it on herself or not, that's it's debatable. But it just is what it is at this point.
And I just hope that, I enjoy her lives, and I think she is a lovely person. I just think that she just has people in her ear that shouldn't.
Yeah,
and that's sad.
In the thing of it is she needs to figure out, and social media is overwhelming. Like, I usually sit here and crochet and have 5 people watching me. I was at 1.5K earlier, which is wild to me. So, and with so many, you're right, so many people in her ear, it's hard for her to focus on what it is that she wants to talk about. And it's tough, especially when you've got 170-something thousand people that you're trying to please all at once. I'm slacking. Why am I letting people in?
Hi, Peter. Sorry.
Anyway, I've said my piece, but I'm going to go because I've got to do some housework, boo. I've got disabilities myself, so it's kind of like I've been putting it off. So it's like I need to get this done. So anyway, lovely speaking to you, and bye, everyone.
Thank you. Yeah, if you saw my bathroom right now, you'd probably call CPS. Do you need help getting down? Oh, there she goes.
Hi, Peter. Thank you for having me on, firstly. I too have really changed my opinion of you. I think you're such an amazing person, especially supporting her the way you're supporting her. I think you're doing a fantastic job. And I think I agree with what Sam just said. I think she needs more people like you in her life, rather than the yes people that are steering her in the wrong direction. She definitely needs more people like you in her ear that will tell her when she's wrong or when she's right. And the problem I have with Annette is I don't hate anybody. Hate is a very strong word. I just hate what she's doing, and I hate her actions.
Right.
What she needs to do, she just needs to take accountability, just apologize, and then people won't feel so offended by her actions. If she says something that people don't like and they call her out on it, she should just say, oh, I'm so sorry for how you feel. I didn't mean for it to come out that way. I didn't mean to offend you. And that's the end of it. But when she keeps saying, I didn't say it, or she doesn't take into account people's feelings, and that's when they're going to get pissed off.
Yeah.
And that's where this stems from, because she refuses to take accountability and refuses to apologize, just like the cancer statement. She said it was a fact. That's what's annoying people, the fact that she said it was a fact. If she had have said in the beginning that it was from an article, people wouldn't have bothered. People wouldn't have been so annoyed. But the fact that she said it was fact and then she denied that she said it, that's the issue that people are having.
Yeah, I mean, I can see both sides of this argument because I was there for the whole thing. Where she's, you know, and I can sit here and make excuses all day, but the reality is that she saw it as one thing and everybody else saw it as another, and like she justifies her actions constantly.
Yeah.
So that's where it became a problem for everybody, is because she habitually is trying to justify herself, and everybody just wants her to say, "Hey, I'm sorry."
Yeah,
and
exactly. And that's what really made them angry, Peter, is because then she went on to deny that she even said it. She apologized kind of half-heartedly. She half-heartedly apologized, then deleted the video, and then said she didn't say it. So that's what's annoying people. And then she'll say that she can't remember when she does something, but she remembers when everyone else does something to her. That's what's a bit annoying too.
Yeah, I mean, she absolutely is her own worst enemy.
But no, she definitely needs more people like you in her ear rather than yes people. And the group that she I think Annette would have a great platform if she stayed on her own. Do you understand? Like not joining groups.
Yes,
if she just
focused on herself,
Yes, and her animals. She would have a fantastic platform if it was just Luna and B and her.
Yeah,
that would be fantastic.
Honestly, that's how she started. Was she just wanted to share Luna, and then she exploded, and now she's trying to spread herself too thin. And we need to, when she's ready to come back, we need to drag the focus back to just her. And, you know, like I tried a while ago, I had a schedule. So, you know, on Monday at 7 p.m. you talk about this, on Tuesday, because there are a lot of people in her chats that are around because of her ME or because of her PCOS or because of all of those things that she's mentioned.
Yeah.
So instead of trying to either talk about all of it at once or not talk about it at all, it would probably be easier to say, hey, you know, Monday's PCOS day and what have you. And where are you going?
And I'm not discrediting her illnesses, but she needs to stop using her illnesses as an excuse for her behavior. My son is autistic. My son is autistic, and I would never say, oh, he's autistic, he's okay to act that way. No. I would never do that. He still gets disciplined, even for his behavior.
Yeah, he gets disciplined. Yeah, I have one with autism as well. And yeah, I mean, his discipline is different than the rest of my kids, but he still does have discipline. You know, they require that sounded rude. I'm sorry. People on the spectrum require more explanation, which is where it's, you know, it's going to be hard for her, is because there was no label on her for so long. She didn't understand why she needed said explanations. It's just, and now that she's got 171,000 people banging on in her ear about whether she's done this or that or the other thing right or wrong.
Yeah. Like recently, my son was misbehaving. He was like annoying my youngest. Like he was really annoying her to the extent where she got really bad tempered. So I took away his tablet and he didn't have it because he has to know that there's a kind of a boundary, you know, he has to stop. and he knew, he learned from that, and he said sorry. When I told him what he did wasn't nice, he's apologized. And I think that's all people want her to do, is just apologize when she's wrong. And then the matter will be finished.
Yeah, and we get that. I mean, and the problem also is that it is 171, 172, however many thousand people are following her. If you apologize and appease one person and everybody else has a problem, it's just the fact that she's never going to please everybody. And that's just the way it is.
Can I just butt in here? Sorry, I just wanted to butt in here. I
get that, Peter, but
okay,
at least if she apologizes, and then sorry, love. At least if she apologizes, and then like someone said earlier, at least if she apologizes genuinely, and then it continues, and that's their problem. At least she's apologized. They have an issue then. But it's like she'll half-heartedly apologize and then say she didn't say it. But you kind of apologize, and now you're saying you didn't say it. I think that's where like you said, the confusion is.
Yep, and getting her out of the habit of needing to defend herself, like people are saying, no, I accidentally let Mr. Stark in the box, and I didn't mean to. Her constant need to defend herself, which would make sense. So you got to figure this as like this room right now is a town. So I'm the center of the town right now. So me talking to you is going to be much different than me talking to the state. Right. So talking to people that are close to me, how I interact and stuff is going to be vastly different than what people from the rest of New York would expect from me. So where I would say, sorry, but, my friends would be used to it, and they're just used to me explaining myself, whereas other people don't understand why she's saying, and I can see where they're seeing it as she's making excuses. So I can see both sides. But it's just, some people will accept sorry, but some people won't, and it's, the best you can do is your best, honestly.
Hi, Peter. Thank you, Peter, for your time and for allowing me to come on. I really appreciate it. And again, I think you're an amazing person, and I think she needs more people like you in her life rather than people steering her in the wrong direction. But thank you so much, Peter.
Thank you.
Hi, Peter.
Hi.
Hi, Peter.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you? How are you girls? All right.
Lovely.
Good. Sorry, I'm assuming you're all girls. I don't know for sure, but I think so. Right. So I just wanted to add my 2 penneth. Right. I'm not saying I haven't watched Annette enough to know what catastrophic mistakes she may have made. I just haven't, and it would be wrong of me to say that I have. But I do know one thing. Is that if she looked a different way, if she was aesthetically appealing, younger, she'd be forgiven a lot more. I know that for sure. There are people on this platform that have lied about the most insane stuff. They've said that they've had terminal diseases when they haven't. They've said that they've lost children when they haven't. They've said the most insane stuff. But because they're young, very pretty, it's very easily forgiven. And the next breath, it's sort of like, some people don't even address it. They get busted, they don't even address it. They just don't speak about it. And then it's like, we all just move on and forgive because they're young, or because, they're pretty, or everybody makes mistakes. And there is a massive double standard and hypocrisy when it comes to Annette. And I don't think the majority of her issues stem from people calling her out on things that she did or whatnot. I think the majority of her issues stem from people calling her out on her appearance and calling her out and assuming that she's, a certain type of person, when she's just so guarded all the time on here, like so guarded all the time. I've said this to her privately. I've said, listen, You know, we all go on there and we put our game face on. Your game face just happens to come across a little bit harsh because you're so used to dodging hate that you've built this big barrier now, and it's kind of like an FU all the time. But if you look back at her earlier stuff, if you remember who she used to be when she was just this, you know, slightly eccentric middle-aged woman who was obsessed with a bird, came on, shared that with you. I think that's who Annette really is. I think that's who she really is. And I think in reality, she is the kind of girl that checks up on her mates, and she is the kind of person that has probably felt ostracised most of her life. And I don't care who you are, that has an impact on you. When you're constantly bullied for something out of your control, that has an impact on you. And I just think the hypocrisy of social media in general is staggering, because if she was younger, typically attractive, seriously, there would be no exposure. Like, no, it just wouldn't be happening. It just wouldn't be happening. It'd be like, oh, it's all right. Everyone makes mistakes, you know, she'll learn. It's ridiculous. And that's kind of how I feel.
I completely agree with you, Mel. I completely agree. I think people ostracize exactly how she looks, and then just makes an opinion of her straight away. And if you've been bullied your entire life, you're bound to fight back.
Of course you are.
Like, I mean, at the end of the day, everybody says things that are wrong. Like, everybody makes mistakes. So why the fuck can nobody else, just because she looks a type of way, she looks vulnerable, she's attacked just because of that. And I don't think she has friends. Not to be against you, Pitta, but I mean, I think she's a lonely lady who has always been lonely. She's not a streetwise person. She doesn't know when she's pissed somebody off. She can't tell. You know, there's certain things like
she
if you watch her live,
she pisses someone off.
But if you watch her live, you can see that she hasn't got a clue what's going on. She might know how to deal with money, and she might know how to process money, but half the time when people are calling her out, she's not paying attention. It's actually Pitta who's doing all the work.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I remember I once said to her, I don't know if you remember Pitta, I said to her, mate, like when someone's being horrible to you in your chat and you've got your mods in there and they block them, you don't have to go back and acknowledge them. You know, they've gone. The mods have blocked them. That's it. They're done. And she said to me, yeah, but then the next day, you know, people will send me things. And I said, right, so when someone sends you something negative, block them too, because they're sort of, you know, like if someone sends me something negative about me that's been said, and there's plenty of it, let's be real, I block them, because they're not sending it me because they're concerned about me. They're sending it me to make sure I know what's being said, so it makes me feel like shit. And I said this to her, but she's the kind of person that won't block because she feels guilty that the person sending it might be sending it from a good place, when you know they're not. They're not. You know,
she
because
talks to people all the time.
I don't know.
Because she won't accept an opinion.